If I ask you, I know you don't answer me, so I just want to pray for us and get the program started. Okay, who is the pastor and who is the pastor?
Hallelujah. Heavenly Father, we bless you. We thank you for today, for the privilege for making us alive again today. Accept our thanks in the name of Jesus. Father, we commit today's activity to you, that you guide us and be with us in the name of Jesus. That your spirit dwell among us in the name of Jesus. Thank you, Heavenly Father, for in Jesus' mighty name we have prayed.
Thank you, Pastor. So, we'll be taking the national anthem now. Hey, it's yours. Now, everybody else has recite the national anthem. Everybody is together. Everybody on the seat, understand that everybody.
I'm up here. I will play it. Nigerian national anthem, right?
Please let's be quiet and recite the national anthem. We need to go to Thank you very much. So we'll be moving. We have some of our guests now. As I said, we have great people. And you'll be learning from today. But first of all, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of our HOD, Mr. John Ilaro. And also in our midst now, we have one of our resource persons, one brother that will be joining us. We have Israel Kuti, who is the program manager at Market Church. Please give me a round of applause. You're welcome, sir. Okay, so on our next,
as a computer scientist, and what are those viable tools that you are having at your own disposal that can help you to acclimatize and read the peak of your career? Some times ago, there are some brothers who are made to understand in the history that they went into the moon. They are Apollo's brother. And the history made us to understand that the system that they use to propel themselves from the surface of the earth to the moon has just a memory of 512 megabytes. 512 megabytes. But today, we now discover many of us were carrying devices that are having 128 gig, even more than that. But we cannot dump from the floor of our classroom, our room, our sitting room to the top of the table. And we are having almost times 10 Apollo used in those days. I want to tell you this one. Through learning, you can have a very strong mental power. The quality of faith that you have in you will determine the level of wisdom that you are going to display. So therefore, I want to take your small and listen to experiences and the way how you can get some of these very tools and apply them to you. Because the world is waiting for you. Honestly speaking with you, gone are those days when people are clamoring for just computer literacy. We have gone beyond the level of computer literacy. We have gone to the level where time, you are the one that will determine what will happen. Virtually with all businesses of the world. There is no business in the world today where you are not relevant. If and only if you have the right tool with you, you know what to do with the tools that you are having with you, and you know the area where they can be applied. So I want to wish you a very great success as you attend this workshop this morning. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much, sir. Okay, welcome to this annual workshop, which is one of the very first times, isn't it? Things like this don't usually, which seek empowering the future, discovering your tech identity. I believe most people have already discovered their own identity already. We are the web developers. Please don't be around now. See, apart from this being a workshop, it's actually also a networking session. At least for me, I look forward to meeting the minds that we have here. Tech bro, you can't work alone, isn't it? You need to network with people. So please, the person could be your next opportunity to getting it done. So please, feel free to network with people, meet people, talk to someone beside you. Also, your contact when you're looking at the person beside you and saying hi to the person. So then, web developers, data scientists, mobile developers, our show so that we know you have money. So once again, you're welcome. My name is Yosola Adekombi. I'm a lecturer on campus here from the Department of Mathematics and Statistics. Please give me a round of applause. So you can see we're all like bros, not after science alone. We are all bros together, we are brothers, we are interconnected together. So I'll be inviting the NACOS president to give us something, tell us something. Briefly, while we try to connect our keynote speaker.
Of the greatest Nigeria student to you, of the greatest Baba, of the greatest Dodo. Hey, so, POC, good morning everyone. I really appreciate everyone to be here. I think it is a great privilege for you guys to be here, and I promise you will enjoy it. Thank you very much.
Let me try his intro, maybe you answer. Of the greatest Nigerian students, yo. Oh, Jesus. Of the greatest Nigerian students, yo. Greatest Bagba. Connecting now to our keynote speaker, Mr. Tosin. Okay. So we still have technical difficulties. So we still have issues streaming directly to our keynote speaker. So while we wait, I'll be introducing some of our guests to the high table, and of course our chief host, Mr. John Alaude, to the high table, sir. You're welcome, sir. Also, two of our introduce them to the high table as well. We have Israel Kuti. Please, where is he? Please give him a round of applause as he comes forward. Israel Kuti, please join us on the high table, sir. So let me just give you a brief intro of Mr. Israel. He's a tech enthusiast. Please have your seat, sir. He's a tech enthusiast with over 4 years experience in IT. Passionate about leveraging technology to improve the world. He's the head of Macintosh Consulting's training department. So you can be sure you might be getting free courses before you go here today. He is focused on developing and delivering training programs for individuals and businesses to succeed in the digital space. He is a certified cloud professional. See, that cloud professional is not easy. I've tried it a few times. I fail every time. So I know how it takes a lot for you to be a certified cloud professional. And he's a 2 times AWS community builder, and he's actively seeking opportunities to make a positive impact in our communities. Please give him a round of applause once again. So you can see, we are all a community here. Do you get what I mean? We are all a community, and luckily for us, we have somebody that is an AWS community builder. How many of you know AWS? AWS no small, oh. Nobody knows AWS. If you know the AWS, make some noise. You don't know, you might see internship at AWS before you leave, oh. You don't know AWS. What's the full name of AWS? Amazon Web Service. So you might be getting some free cloud credits before you leave. I don't know. So also in our midst today, we have Oluwatobi Ogunjimi. Please give him a round of applause as he comes forward as well. It's 5 years. We were still in primary, sorry, in the tech industry. He has collaborated with progressive brands and has experience in user experience, research, interface design, brand, and product design. And simple, he has worked with companies like Zuri Team. How many of you know Zuri Team? Zuri. How many of you people will know Zuri? You can't tell me you don't know Zuri. Like, why don't you know Zuri? Cohort. When was that? So no other person. So you see, these are things we hope to learn. There are opportunities for you to tap into. Zuri of all things, that's like where all the big boys are. So you should be there as well. He has also worked at Worker Networks, Sheruta Nigeria, Pickup, Brand Builder Design Agency, and T40 Technologies. He is also a design tutor and speaker, offering mentorship sessions and live interactive sessions for experienced designers. Please give him a round of applause. So you can see how many of you are hoping to live here with a mentor? Like, you need a mentor. Be truthful to yourself. You know you need a mentor. So you can see we have great people you can connect with. Please let's give them a round of applause once again. Sorry, technique. We just want to know what you do. Who would like to speak first? As I've said, this is a networking session. Please make use of this opportunity. If you'd like to tell us you're a web developer, let's introduce us to a little bit in your portfolio. Or if you're building something cool that I just want to pitch out very briefly. Anybody? Are you shy? Arawala Wambio. So nobody wants to tell us. NHND 2 students, maybe you're building something cool for your project. Would you like to share it? HND 2 students, I know ND2, I want to share it. HND 2, anybody with a nice project going on? Omo computer science, you hear me. One can be Amutek. Abutek. Who are you? Who is Abutek? Let's just. So joining us remotely now is our keynote speaker. Joining us remotely now is our. It's not in Nigeria. Please give him a round of applause. You know, it's not, all these things not easy. I'm sure if he was in Nigeria, probably be in our midst this morning. Is Mr. Tosin Shobukola, who is the founder of Analytics Africa. Please give him a round of applause now. He is an innovation leader with 15 years of experience. 15 years. Some of you are probably just 17. The smallest age will probably be like 17. So you were 2 years old when he has been in this field. Of experience developing and leading system-wide architecture designs and technology strategies for clients across multiple industries. He is a thought leader in the field of digital transformation and is deeply committed to helping organizations achieve their business objectives through world-class IT solutions. He has a proven track record of success in leading and managing complex projects, developing and implementing innovative solutions, and delivering measurable results. He is also a skilled communicator and negotiator and is able to build strong relationships with stakeholders at all levels. Please give him a round of applause. Keep clapping, keep clapping. Tap, tap, tap. Keep clapping, keep clapping. Tap, tap, tap. Gift me, my gifters. Clap. So is this the gift you want to give me? Let's clap again. Kilo manche, you know. So we are ready. See, I'll collect the mic from you anytime. So while we wait for him to connect. So we have Abu Tech here. They said he's the big boy, the tech bro in the department right now. So I might collect the mic anytime when he's ready. So what are you doing currently? Would you like to share any of your projects? Do you need collaborators? Do you need mentors or anything? Let us know what you're building first.
Yeah, I'm working. Yeah, good morning, everyone. My name is Abubakar Ajibola Idris, always known as Abutek Bro. I am a full stack web developer, also a graphic designer, and also a UI UX designer. I own a tech company, a startup though, App Technology Digital Hub. You can check on Google, it's always there, 247. So right now, currently, I'm working on an e-commerce website, a project, although I'm using it to learn. I'm a Python developer, so I'm using it to build some projects up on my own, just to add to my profile on GitHub. So that's it. And also, I work for other companies on their projects. Like I said it, I'm a startup, so I collect some gigs, maybe graphic designing, web designing, any of it. I have my services. I'm also a WordPress web designer, so I have different people that I work for in the tech space. So if you need to connect with me, I'm always there online. Search for Abutech Bro. You always find my contacts.
Can you tell us one cool thing you've built recently? One cool thing. Explain to us.
Oh yeah, I'm working on a learning platform, Learner iFace. So it's not my own project. It's a live project. So I'm working on it. It's almost done. So once it's done, then we'll be launching it. I'm also part of the team. So that's part of what I've been working on. And also I've been designing for, for people like that all over the country.
Thank you very much. Please give him a round of applause. So you see, he's building really cool things. Thank you very much. So if you're interested in collaborating with him, or you want to ask him questions, you want to even learn from him, feel free to reach out to him. So we are still waiting to be connected. Oh yeah, you want to tell us what he's doing too. I told you big people are here. You people refuse.
Okay, good morning, everyone.
I'm Samuel Lorenda. I'm a JavaScript full stack developer and also a UI UX designer. So currently I'm working on an HR management platform and
Sorry, we have him back later, I promise. Sorry. So we are connected now. Again, we have Mr. Tosin Shobukola in our midst virtually. We just want to be sure, can you hear us, sir? You're welcome, sir. Can you hear us now? We can hear you, sir.
Hello, can you hear me? If you can hear me, please say yes.
Yes, we can hear you. Hear you, sir. Hello, sir. Can you hear us now? Samadrosi
Can
Waju.
I, can I, can I get started? All right, good morning, everybody. How are you today? If you can hear me, please, can you wave your hands? Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, good morning, everybody. How are you? Thank you for supporting your NACOS team and being present on this wonderful occasion. I also say hello. NACOS officials have suggested that I should speak about. So I'll talk about it quite quickly and then we go into Q&A. After that, yes, we see how it goes. Okay. So the topic of today is navigating tech trends. How to build a successful career, in the digital age. How to build a successful career in the digital age. Before I start, I am Tosin Shobukola. I am an enterprise architect and IT advisor, to put it simply. I've worked in the tech industry for about 18 years now. I also schooled in Open State, by the way. I finished from Alabison Obanjo University. And I was also the ICT director while I was in school about some 17 years back. Okay, so I have worked across organizations in Nigeria. I worked at an organization called InterSwitch, which is responsible for most of the ATM transactions that you do. I would ask if the team can help me to also see the audience while I speak, because it helps me know that I'm communicating. I like the way the video was showing of the audience. So if you can still let that video keep showing, I'll appreciate it. Tech team. Okay. So I worked at InterSwitch, and where I was an engineer, I was a solution administrator, which means I did software management, I did database administrator, I did security, and I did some hardware networking stuff. I also worked with Microsoft for almost 8 years until early this year where I left Microsoft. So for those of you who are here today, I will congratulate you. I would assume that most of you are studying computer science. And I would say that most of you, if you are studying computer science, you are very, very lucky. So can you give yourselves a wonderful round of applause first of all? Beautiful. And I'll tell you why I said you should give yourselves a round of applause. Computer science is one simple field. Computer science, computer engineering, computer networking, ICT, infotech, anything, whatever. But let's just call it computer science or computer engineering. So I'm going to use the word computer science, but whatever form, shape, size, or definition it has, just know that I'm referring to you. The reason why I love this course is because it's a course that allows you to be whatever you want to be. If you are the kind of person who likes to be quiet, stand alone, we have a role for you in computing. If you are the kind of person who likes to talk, who likes to go about meeting people, who likes to go about connecting with people, we have a role for you. If you are the kind of person who is a business person, who likes to sell, who likes to make money, who likes to do business, we have a role for you. If you are the kind of person who likes to balance, sometimes you want to be quiet, sometimes you want to be loud, sometimes you want to be everywhere, we also have a role for you. So it is a big role, big career path that allows almost everybody. Not anybody can just be a doctor. Not anybody can be an accountant. Not anybody can be a lawyer. But computer science, as long as you're able to do the necessary stuff, which is required of you, that means you can read and write, and you can discipline yourself with the basic discipline, computer science typically would have a space or slot for you. So again, tell the person next to you congratulations, and tell yourself also congratulations that you are here. So very, very quickly, I'm going to run through what are the things that happen in computer science. It's a very, very exciting career path. And there's so much happening. Today you hear AI, tomorrow you hear data science, next week you hear networking, day after tomorrow you hear big data, next month you hear all sorts. The day after tomorrow they'll tell you, oh, it's a new technology, oh, it's a new platform, it's a new everything. So in the midst of all that, just imagine as a child, your dad tells you that in the morning when you see me, you greet me. And then tomorrow you see your dad and you say, good morning, sir. And then tomorrow he says, you didn't greet me well. What's going on? Is that how to greet me? You were frowning. Daddy, I just woke up now. Do you expect me to be smiling when I'm greeting you? Okay, you go tomorrow and you say, Daddy, hello, what's up? And then she's probably going to knock your head and say, are you okay? Is it me you're talking to like that? What's happening there? All the man wants is greeting, but he has not even told you how to greet him. So you're not sure whether you want to be yuppie or funky. You're not sure whether you want to worship him. You're not sure whether you want to prostrate. As it would have just been better for him to say, as a good child, when you see an elder in the morning, you bow and you say respectfully, good morning, sir. That will solve the problem. Yes or no? Am I speaking to myself? Yes or no? I'll assume you are saying yes. Tech team, please help me. I want to see the audience. That's the only way I can know I'm communicating. Please help me to see the audience. Tech team, please help me to see the audience. I don't want to see myself. All right. So, thank you. So, if your dad did not tell you how to greet him, would you not be confused? Yes or no? Right. Now, it's the same thing in computer science. There are so many, many things to know. There are so many, many things to learn. There are so many, many things to understand. If you are not guided, you could actually start the journey and take the wrong step. Okay, let's take a quick look. Everybody is saying tech, tech. Is it by force for me to do tech? Is it by force for me? Is Dangote? Eh? Must I do tech? What's wrong with all these people? Students, right? This is a research work years back by the World Economic Forum. And they said that in the next few years, these people going to be needing will be amongst these kind of jobs. So I'm not going to read all of them, but I'll just quickly touch all of them. One is riding on tech. This one is manufacturing using tech. Science. This one is biology. This one, robots, everything tech. So most of the jobs that are going to happen in the future will need tech. So imagine your results in school today. There's no computer. How do you want to know your you? Well, critical for all to be the best. It is not tech that is going to take all the job. The person who is the person using tech. One more time. The person who will be the best using tech doesn't mean he's going to be the wealthiest. He's going to be the most intelligent. But what I'm trying to tell you, most advantage. I can design my 6. Some of you like networking. For some other people, they just want to be talking to people, they want to meet people. Area to study. When I was much younger in the university, I wanted to have a lot of knowledge about this tech thing. I started out as a software developer, and then I learned data. It was not my area. Let me just sleeping. I picked it up the second day. I never went back. I don't regret going back. There was not a reason. They didn't tell me that internet connection thing that day, you will not get a job. I have never been in demand of a job. Are you with me? So understand the one. Another example. In secondary school, I was very, very, very good with math. In fact, I had an I did not I I just didn't get this thing. Even in university, unfortunately, it messed my GP up. That was just me knowing myself. So when you know yourself, it will allow you to select an side. Don't let tired. When I was in Nigeria, I was not how do you know what is happening in tech? Today, it is very, 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 very easy to learn a lot of things. Nothing is easy. When we were younger, in the year 2000, in the year 2001, some people would say, when you want to put something inside the computer, they say, go and get me water. Then when you go and get them water, they quickly fix the thing so that you don't know it. Or when they are fixing computer, engineer,
come and do something, they will fix the computer, but they will not fix it well, so that they can call them every 3 months. So come and be fixing computer for them, so that they can be making money. But in 2023, all that money is gone. The only thing that you don't want to know today is the one that you don't want to learn. I will say that 2 more times. The only thing that you don't know is the one that you don't want to learn. One more time. The only thing that you can never know is the one that you don't want to learn. Now, I'll say something on top of it.
Nobody in this world can deny you knowledge of anything. Nobody in this world can deny you knowledge of anything. Whatever it is you want to learn, there is 1,000,001 ways that you can learn it for free. There is 1,000,001 ways that you can learn it for free, especially when it comes to tech. Especially when it comes to tech. So, what are the ways in which you can learn from tech? Make YouTube your friend. For me, I am on Instagram, I am on social media, but my Instagram and social media is for learning. It's not for Bobrisky, it's not for savage responses, it's not for Big Brother. I don't even know the name of, they had finished Big Brother before I even knew that they were doing Big Brother. Sometimes, I'm not asking you to be like me, but I'm only saying all those things that you are using, all those things that you are using for entertainment are the same things that you should be using for learning. I can see all of you now, you are pressing your phones. I don't know what you are pressing. I don't know whether you're on TikTok. I don't know whether you're on Instagram. I don't know whether you're on Facebook. But that same phone that you are pressing, some people are using it to make a lot of money. Some people are using it to make a lot of contacts. Some people are using it to learn a lot of things. Yesterday, I applied for something yesterday. In my parlor, I just sat down and I pressed a few buttons. In my early morning, my children had just left for school and I was at home alone. Just before this presentation started, I got a call. The person is in India. He's not even close to me at all. You know your uncles, your brothers, your friends that are in America that you will send an email to or that you send a WhatsApp message to, and immediately he has 2 ticks and the guy reads it. Yes or no? You know how much 1 gig of data can do for you. So there's a lot of stuff that you can learn online. A lot of guys that have a lot of skills. You need to find those guys. There are some people that are doing a lot of interesting stuff. When I was in school, this was many, many years ago, there were some boys that they had a job in Lekki and they were schooling in Agoiwoye. They were not just young boys like that. Before they graduated, they already had a job. In my own case, they were calling me to come and resume. I said, I'm not coming to this company. You people don't pay salary. I'm not coming. I'll get another job. And I got another job. So what am I saying? You can get any knowledge you want. You can network with the right people. For you being in this kind of conference today, this is the beginning. Open your eyes. Professional societies, IEEE, British Computer Society, all those societies, they have a lot of information for you. Online, they are free. And guess what? When students want to join society, they always give you discounts. So, and I always tell my younger ones, and she does technology. If 2 people apply for a job and there is a lady who is black and in tech, on that job. No black lady, but there's a woman, and there are many, many men. As long as the woman can do 60-70% of the work, even if the guy is not the work up to 200%, it's very likely that they'll give the job to the lady. So ladies, you have a lot of opportunities. If you want to go for your masters, there are scholarships that are for ladies only. There are opportunities that are for ladies only. So all of you ladies, you have far more opportunities than the guys. Please don't put it to waste. You also have a lot of platforms like Udemy. I have a friend who has a platform for free courses. You have Udemy, you have Coursera, free courses that you can take online. Free courses that you can do with your special time. While you are in school, some of you have side businesses. Some of you have tailor job. Some of you can bake. Some of you are doing usher. Some of you are doing all sorts. You can also have a tech side hustle. I paid somebody some money the other day to do graphics for me. And guess what? He did it on his phone. He did it on his phone. So there is a lot of stuff you can do today. Please, please make sure you do it. My colleagues on the call, on the subsequent presenters, we will now begin to dive deep into the various technologies and tell you what those technologies are about, and they'll give you insight into how those technologies work. Also, ensure that you get a good mentor. Not a mentor that is going to take advantage of you. Not a mentor that you say should teach you something and will be doing something else. No, no, no. This is the time for seriousness. And let me explain what I'm saying to you. In Nigeria today, how many are you in the hall? How many are you in the hall? How many are you in the auditorium? Like how many? Can you type it in the window for me, please? Like how many are you in the hall? Okay, I'll assume you're about 200. When I was when I was in NYSC camp some many years ago, when I was in NYSC camp, on that camp we were 1,300, and that was batch A. That was batch A. So it was, I think I went in, not batch A, no. Batch A, stream 1. Batch A, stream 1. When I finished from NYSC, batch A, stream 2 came. In those days, there was no Boko Haram. So all the 37 states, okay, 500 participants, thank you. All the 37 states had 1,000, 1,005, 1,003. I want somebody to do the math for me. What is 37 times 1,003? 37 times 1,003. That's 48,000. So my own was batch A, then there was another batch B. So, which means in that batch A, which was February batch, there was almost 100,000 Nigerians going to NYSC camp. It was when I was serving that they also introduced batch C. So which means in 1 year, you have how many? 300,000 people going to NYSC camp. Now, 300,000 people going to NYSC camp in 1 year. Those that went to serve last year, they have not gotten job. Those that are going to serve next year, they have not gotten job. Those that went to serve 2 years ago, they've still not gotten jobs. Now, what do you have? And it's not only by connection. Some people have their brains. Some people have their skills. Some people's parents are connected. What you can take into the market is your computer skills. Not at basic level, I can type. If you can use Microsoft Word, it's as good as you are speaking English. If you can use Microsoft Excel, is as good as you are saying good morning. So that is not that having that Microsoft Office skill. You are typing your project, you are typing your term paper. That is not anything, that is not a tech skill. That one is like you are using your phone. Will you get a certificate because you can use Android phone? Or okay, you can use Android phone. Will you get a certificate because you can use iPhone? Yes or no? No. Exactly. That is when you know how to use Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, you can use iPad, you can use, that one is like you are just literate. That is not a skill. So you need to advance to a level where you have a skill that can earn you money and get a job. Very, very important. So look for a mentor. This kind of session you're having now is a mentorship session you're having. People are telling you what some other people in your campus are never going. Some people in your campus, until they graduate, this information you are getting, they will never hear it. So you are very lucky. Tell yourself again, I am very lucky. All right. Before I finish, there are some things that you need to be aware of, because as good as the computer is, there are bad things that happen on the computer. Some people use it for fraud. Today they'll tell you, if they send you a kind of message, don't respond. If they call you and they send you a code, don't answer. Those are the bad things that are inside computing. You don't have to do the bad things. All of you are at least, you are all over 15 years old. You are all intelligent. You are all smart. You are all responsible. Choose to continue being responsible. Don't become a fraudster because you say, no. The energy that you are going to use to learn in doing the bad things, use that energy and use it to learn the good things. We have seen it all over the world today. Even if you are doing bad, you are doing bad, you are doing bad, and you are having fun, one day it's going to burst. Imagine somebody that was doing computer fraud. They did not catch him in Nigeria. He's abroad, they caught him. He's abroad. And then they, you don't need all those things. There's so much good that you can learn. There's so much opportunities that you can get. Don't learn the one that will put you to problem. Don't learn the one that will change your life and give you major trouble. Learn the one that will benefit you. Learn the one that will help you to grow. Learn the one that will help you to become a good person for your society, good person for the person paying your school fees, good person, and you can even be independent at some point. Okay. So, we have said it all. What do you need to do in summary? Just 4 things. Can we say DISE? 1, 2. DISE. Again? DISE. You need to discover yourself. Am I the talkative person? Am I the low? Do I like to color? Do I like to design? And then start today. No time to waste time. No time to check. Start today and get something done. And once you are done with one, keep growing, keep growing, keep growing, and keep getting better. That brings us to the end of our presentation. I'd like to know if you have any questions. I think I still have a few minutes. Let me know if you have questions, and I'll be ready to address your questions or concerns that you have. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Can you hear us? Hello. See, you are muted. Look. So please, how can he hear us? Sir, can you hear us? Hello. Hey. Please, can you wave the camera that can he hear? Hello.
No questions?
Please type it there that can he hear us? Please, he's not hearing us. Mute this one. It should be here. You are mute. Otuti mute, father.
Yes.
Otuti mute. Okay. Can you hear us now, sir?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. That was a great session. I believe everybody here learned a lot. I actually learned a lot. Please let's give him a round of applause once again. Please wave at him. Let him know we are here and we followed everything he said. So, actually, I learned a lot, but before I say what me I learned, do you have any questions? Please raise up your hand if you have any question. Very fast, please. There must be a question. So, question. Questions. No, you can't tell me there's no question. Question. Okay, somebody's raising up. Please come forward. Who? Please come outside here. Let him see your face. You position the camera. Question. Please raise up your hand if you have question.
Okay, so my question is, okay, so my question is, um, sir, as we know, let's say when trying to learn a skill, money can be a major distraction in trying to acquire a skill because you always pay more attention to areas that fetches money more than what you are trying to acquire. So if a particular niche in tech is fetching me money, but it is not something I love doing, sir, what will you advise?
Okay. Two things. There is the concept of work. What did I say? There is the concept of work. Now, when you are working, it's not always fun. For example, if I ask all of you to get a broom and sweep that auditorium that you are inside, what's going to happen to you when you finish? You're going to sweat. If you are not fit, your back. What is the result of sweeping that room? It's going to be clean. Fresh air will blow. There will be no dust, and the chances of infection are reduced. Why did I use that example? Sometimes there are things that we refer to as work. Work is work, and work means that it is not something you may have fun in doing. If it is profitable, if it is legal, you have the mental capacity to handle it, please by choice, I am not a data scientist because of some reasons. It involves some mathematical and statistical things that I don't like. But data scientists and machine learning experts are very, very rich today. But I don't like statistics. And because I want to make money, I'm not going to do statistics because I want to make money. There are other alternatives for me, and that is the path that I chose. I hope I've been able to answer your question.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. So, Juliana, please, if you have question, you can write it in a sheet of paper. Shy. Juliana, your question. Write it in a sheet of paper, raise up your hand, I'll come and take it from you. Please, I'm taking 2 more questions.
Thank you, sir. My question is this, that as a lady, you want to go into tech, and going into tech can be so challenging. As a lady, what can you advise to start with?
As a lady, what can I advise you to start with? Correct? Is that your question?
Yes, sir.
All right. I remember addressing this question when I was ICT director. Today, what is it that a man and a woman cannot do? And a lady drives, ladies answer me now. I cannot hear you. So when you want to say yes, just wait. Can a lady drive? Can a lady have a bank account? Can a lady play football? Is a woman's brain small? Is a woman's brain small? Yes or no? If it is no, wave two hands. If it is yes, wave one hand. But is a woman's brain small? No. No. A woman's brain is not small. You will have women that are policemen. Wait. How many hands? Yes or no? Do you have women that are soldiers, that they go to war, they carry gun, they shoot gun? Yes or no? Okay. Do you have women that can fly aeroplanes? Do you have women that have become president before? So, my dear, the response to your question is as long as your intelligence can carry it, there is nothing stopping you from doing anything. I have had male managers before. I have had female managers you chase after money, you will never catch money. And when you don't catch money, you will not have money. But if you stay in one place and attract money, money will come to you, money will chase you, and you will be. I will explain what I'm saying. If your motivation is money, graphic work that is making money in tech today, graphics ni, you start doing graphics. You start doing graphics. After a while, they say there's this new technology that they call AI. AI is the one making money now. It's no more graphics. Let me go and start making money with AI. Let me go and start learning AI. And robots that is making money now. Let me go and start learning robots. So you have learned graphics, learned AI, you have learned robots. Which one are you? I have not said don't learn. I'm saying that make sure that what you are doing is adding value. When you left graphics to learn AI, to learn robotics, to learn all those things, one guy stayed in that graphics and he studied how to use AI to improve graphics. So he's now using AI for graphics, which means he's a better designer and he's doing faster work. So the work that would take him 2 days, because of AI, he can now do it in 45 minutes. So they now said his robot, okay, he has now learned AI. He will now say, okay, how does this robot help my graphics work to be better? Maybe when he's going to record an event like this, he used to hire 5 guys. Now, you just hire one guy and take 4 robots. Now, 4 robots and one guy left money. The robots will never eat food. The robots will never be sick. The robots will never be tired. It will just get hot. And when they blow cool air on it, it will be fine. Now, he's still a graphics guy, but he has learned AI, he has learned robotics to improve his graphics work. But you left graphics. You've not done graphics work for the past 6 months. You've been learning AI. Then you left AI. Another 3 months. You are going to learn robots. So which means for 9 months, you have not touched your graphics. For 3 months, you have not touched your robot, your AI. You are now on robots. That means you are chasing money. But if you keep learning, if you keep being good, if you keep being the best, if you keep improving yourself, what are you becoming? You are becoming what? A magnet of attraction. You are becoming what? A bundle of value. And people will pay you for your skill and for what you can offer. So don't let money be your motivation. Of course, I won't say you should go and become a laborer or a cleaner that there's no money inside. No. Whatever you do something that makes sense, but don't do it for money. Do it so that you can build value and then you attract the money.
Thank you very much, sir. Please let's give him a round of applause. So, so from all of us here, we say thank you very much, sir, for joining us. It was great having you in our midst. We learned a lot. And how can we reach you, sir, if we hope to reach you later? Maybe your social media handles or any way we could communicate, sir.
Thank you very much.
can hear you, sir. We contact you later, sir.
Oh, okay. I am on LinkedIn. I am Tosin Shobukola. I'm on LinkedIn. I think that's the best place to catch me. LinkedIn.
All right, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Bye-bye, sir.
LinkedIn is the best place. Thank you.
Please, let's give him a round of applause. So, I hope everybody learned something. I don't know about you people, but there's always something to learn in this kind of gatherings. Someone asked the question, but I chose not to ask yet because I believe our other speakers will be able to touch on them as we go on. There was something he said about learning here and there. You learn graphics finish, you're learning data science. From data science, you're going to AI. From AI, you're going to mobile development. From mobile development, you're going to web. Actually, you're wasting your time. Wasting your time. All you need to do is just focus on one thing at a time, and you'll be able to be a master at whatever it is. So moving on to the next thing on our list, we'll be having our next speaker, and that will be Israel Kuti, who is a program manager at Macintosh. Again, I'll read his bio in case you did not hear it before. He is a tech enthusiast with over 4 years of experience in IT training and project management. He is passionate about leveraging technology to improve the world. He is the head of Macintosh Consulting's training department. He is focused on developing and delivering training programs for individuals and businesses. He is a certified cloud professional and a 2 times AWS community builder, and he is actively in the community. And we are so please give him a round of applause as he comes forward. Okay, before that, we have one little thing we still want to do. But before that, also we need to welcome some of our daddy and mummies to the high table as well. Let's give a round of applause to Mr. Adegboye from Computer Science Department and Mrs. Akingola as well. Please come forward, ma'am. Let's give her a round of applause. Please, Sam, please join us. So we have a little thing we quickly want to do, and that will be anchored by Fortunatus very fast.
Right. Great narcocytes. Great narcocytes. When I say great narcocytes, you say networking the world. That is our identity. Great narcocytes. Great narcocytes. Okay. At this point, myself and the NACOS executive for the session of 2022-2023 wants to show our appreciation in a very slight manner to the number one of this department, in person of Mr. John Alawode. Okay, I know maybe many of you will recall or will know that on October 1st, he celebrates his birthday. Yeah. So in light of that, we would like to present a token to him just to mark his birthday for him on this day. So, Nakostin, please. So, everybody, let's echo it. Everybody, please, let's be on our feet.
Daddy, oh, wapelaye. Daddy, oh, wajẹ wọn mọ. Ẹni bá ní kò ní rí bẹ́ẹ̀ afọlójú. Akànlápá kò sẹ́nu tírélà àkùtù ẹ̀. Daddy, oh, wapelaye. Daddy, wajẹ wọn mọ. Ẹni bá ní kò ní rí bẹ́ẹ̀ afọlójú. Akànlápá kò sẹ́nu tírélà.
Okay.
So we appreciate you, sir. Thank you for being there for us from the inception to date, sir.
So before we proceed, I would like us to, I'm apologizing once again. I would like us to rise on our feet while we sing happy birthday to him. We will all echo it, then we move to the next thing. Thank you. All right. 1, 2, go.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Hip, hip, hip. Hip, hip, hip. Thank you very much. So now we want him to cut the cake for us. So how do we go about it? We want all our guests to please accompany our daddy while he cuts the cake at the mention or at the spelling of Nakos. So we want you to cut it at the spelling of Nakos. So N A C O S. Nice. Thank you very much, sir.
Honestly speaking with you, I can say categorically that I was caught off guard. I didn't have the premonition of this. I didn't see this coming at all. I sincerely appreciate you all. And from the bottom of my heart, I want to say thank you for this. God will honor you. I pray for you as you have celebrated my birthday today. God will take you to the position whereby you will also be celebrated even beyond your imagination. I really want to appreciate the NACOS executive. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. God bless you really good. Thank you all.
So,
We'll be moving on to Mr. Israel now. So we'll be having Mr. Israel now. Please give him a round of applause as he comes forward. Of the greatest Nigerian students, of the greatest Baba, of the greatest Gogo, of the greatest Shima, of the greatest. I want to stand on the existing protocol. I want to recognize the presence of the head of department and other people that are also on the high table. And I really want to appreciate the opportunity that you have given to me. When I heard about this, I was excited, not because it's my first time of speaking in an environment like this, but because of something really special. Some 6-7 years ago or thereabouts, I was also someone like you. So that means that I also had an HND. And when I heard that it was a Polytechnic that I was coming to, I was excited because I was coming to meet people that are also in Polytechnics. Now, there has always been this kind of dichotomy that, I have an HND, I need to go back to school to do BSc, to do this, to do that. And boldly tell that person that, yes, I did HND, I have my HND, but at the same time also, that does not mean that I cannot be successful at whatever it is that I want to do. Now, back to our discussion, empowering the future. The first speaker that took the keynote session, and I was hoping that maybe we would have more people ask questions. Some weeks back, it was just like this. It was a speaker in Dubai, and it was paid heavily. So you can imagine the kind of person that's just finished speaking to us. Well, hopefully, maybe subsequently, we'll try as much as possible also to make judicious use of opportunities that we have. Now, when we talk about identity, let me look for someone here. Can I move around? Okay. So sorry, I love moving around. Technically, I'm also like a teacher. So I'm not a teacher in that sense. I'm a tech, I teach tech. So that's why I'm moving around. So I want to look for someone that I can actually ask a question. So let's see. Please, can you stand up? What's your name? Ayomide. Okay, who knows Ayomide here? Do you know him? What do you know him for? One person.
He's a programmer.
He's a programmer. Okay. Yes, another person. Raise your hand if you know something about Ayomide. Okay.
He's a footballer.
He's a footballer. All right, beautiful. So two people, one person said he's a programmer. You can sit down, please. Another person said he's a footballer. Now there is something specific that they have been able to identify that made them to be able to say, oh, Ayomide is a programmer or Ayomide is a footballer. What's that thing? What's that thing? Identity. Now, as individuals, if your name is being mentioned somewhere, what can people say about you? And I'm bringing that back into technology. If my name is mentioned in some gatherings today, they'll probably say, oh, he's a cloud professional. Now, I'm going to come back to explain cloud professional, cloud computing. Now, when you talk about identity, it speaks to something that is part of you that could earn you recommendation. Something that people can refer other people to you for. Right? So in technology, there's room for everybody. And if you don't have an identity yet,
it's never too late. You can still create an identity for yourself. And while creating an identity for yourself, you start with what our keynote speaker has said initially. Develop yourself. Identify that particular thing that you're very, very good at, or that thing that interests you, and then put in your energy to develop yourself with it. Now, I'm going to talk about cloud computing myself. I started my career as a content creator. Do you have content creators in the house? All the TikTok people. Content creators. Tap, tap. Okay, interesting. All right. So I started my career as a content creator. Now, I'm trying to drive home a point. And then there was an opportunity for me to be able to work somewhere. Now, I am a content creator. I'm saying like 5 years ago now. So you basically know that TikTok was not like big then. The content creators of those times, maybe you were doing graphics design, you were creating content on Facebook and all of those things. Now, there was need for me to actually key into that opportunity. And that was one of the things that drove me into technology. This is an opportunity for me to work. But if I don't have the skills that are required, I won't be able to function effectively. And if I ask you today, if, for example, maybe someone from an organization does say, oh, or let's say today I say, oh, I want to employ 2 people to my organization, what can you do?
Graphic design.
What can you do? Okay. Let me try again. I work with Macintosh Consulting, AWS Trend Partners. AWS is Amazon Web Service. How many of us knows what Amazon Web Service is? AWS, Amazon Web Service. Now, how many of us know what Amazon Web Service is? Okay, yes. Can you just quickly tell us? Sorry.
It's more like a cloud service provider.
Thank you. Not even more like a cloud service provider. Now, if I say I work with a cloud service provider and I have 2 slots today to employ 2 people, what can you do? I work with I'm a cloud service provider, or I work with a training institute. I have 2 slots to employ people, 2 people right away, here, now. What can you do? Okay. Now, this is something that is very, very critical. I'm saying this because these are the experiences I've had over the years. Especially when I'm trying to like maybe employ people, go through processes. You need to have something to offer before there can be an avenue for you. You can't just sit down and say, oh, it's connections that they can use to get job here. Now, let's say I'm standing here now as a connection, and I'm asking you, what can you do? Do you understand? And then nobody is telling me anything. So, identifying what you are good at. How are you able to key into that thing? There are several career paths as far as technology is concerned. So, another, let's say, myth or that people used to have is that, oh, I need to know how to do programming before I can be a tech bro or techsis. Okay, let me not say I cannot write a code, but I don't write codes. And I'm a cloud professional. Now, let me bring this home so that it becomes much more relatable for us. So let's say how many of us, why do you think, how many of us, we all have phones, right? You all use WhatsApp. Everybody. Okay. Why do you think data, the cost of data, is a little bit more expensive in Nigeria than what we used to have in other foreign countries, maybe like US or UK? Why do you think data is more expensive in Nigeria? Anybody? Yes? Anyone? I have a gift to anybody that gets this right. I have a gift. Yes? Okay.
Because we mostly use shared servers.
Because we mostly use shared servers. That's partly. Because we mostly... Any other person? Any other person? Okay.
So it's not because we mostly use shared servers. Don't worry, I'm going to give you that gift. The gift is just a token of 5,000 naira. So I'll give it, let me send it straight. What's your account number?
Hello? If like be keeping quiet, if they ask questions, don't answer. Oh, you man last by force. Who has the answer now? Raise up your
All
hand.
right. So he was able to answer my question. You know, there's something again that speaks to being able to actually assess opportunities. It has to do with your grit. How hard are you willing to go? It doesn't necessarily mean that he answered all my questions, right? But because he was able to even raise up his hand and say something. Now, 5,000 naira, maybe you'll be able to use it to do data or something. Now, okay. Don't worry, maybe there will still be gifts. We never can tell. All right. So, hello. Please, I want us to be together, right? Now, when you talk about cloud computing, the question I asked earlier, why do you spend more on data than what they spend outside the country? If you send WhatsApp message to someone, yeah, that message will travel. If you send hello WhatsApp, that message will travel first to California, because the data center where WhatsApp server is being hosted is in California. So that information, that message will travel first. There's something we call a packet. If you put www. whatever, let's say www. Federal Polytechnic Ilaro on maybe your Google Chrome, what happens when you put it there? What happens? Yes? If you have internet, what happens? It loads and brings out that web page, right? Now, you are able to see that web page because it's hosted somewhere. How many of us know who hosting GoDaddy? Right. Now, that's the same thing that cloud computing is now providing. If you look at the time of the cash crunch, when there was no money, what are those banks that were doing exceptionally well? OPay, yes. PalmPay, MoneyPoint. Why do you think they were doing exceptionally well? Why? Okay. Now, what happens is this. When you are, for commercial banks, we all know server rooms, right? Server rooms. Server rooms. Please don't say no. You are computer people now. Server room. Okay. Now, every organization has a server. Every tech organization, basically, all those commercial banks, they have a server room. Inside that server room, they have the hardware. All those big hardware. You watch movies where somebody will just take one flash drive and will just go to one big place where there are all servers. You just plug flash drive and they will say that it's trying to copy something. All those American movies that we used to watch, right? So that's the example also that we have in organizations. That server room. But now, those commercial banks, they have their own server room as a physical server room right there in their office. Now, there is cash crunch. Maybe a bank used to have like maybe 10, let's say maybe 100,000 customers on their mobile apps or website on a normal day. Now that there is cash crunch, you can't go to the bank again. You have to like use online platform. What do you think will happen? It will what? Skyrocket, right? There will be more people. Now, that physical server that responds to people's requests is like your hard drive. On your hard drive, if your hard drive is 1 terabyte, if it is filled up to that 1 terabyte, will you be able to add anything to it? Will you be able to add anything to it? The same thing also in the banks. If the physical infrastructure, that server that they have, that they are using to respond to when you want to withdraw, when you want to send money, when you want to download your mobile app, that physical server that is responding to people, by the time it gets filled up because of the cash crunch, at that point in time, it will not be able to respond to customers again. That's why you will send money and the person will say you did not see it after 2 days. Because there is what? There is too much traffic. Now, what made OPay, PalmPay to be distinct and different was that they were using the cloud environment. And in the cloud environment, you don't need any physical infrastructure. And you can expand and increase to any length that you want. Look at Jumia, for example. Let's say that Jumia, on a normal day, Jumia have maybe 100,000 visitors on their website. We all know Jumia now. Abi, Konga, Jumia. Let's say they all have 100,000 visitors on their website on a normal day. By the time they start Black Friday, what will happen? More people will come in, right? Now, if they were using physical infrastructure, that means that they will need to buy additional servers. Just like when you are using the hard disk, when it is filled up, you need to buy another external hard disk before you can be able to store something on the hard disk. And that's what cloud computing provides. You don't need to buy any physical infrastructure anymore. You can access the cloud platform wherever you are. Just like, who can give me an example of the cloud platform? Any example of cloud platform? Oracle. Yes, Oracle. Something that is very, very simple that you can relate with anybody. How many of us are using iPhone here? iPhone users. Let me see your hand. iPhone users. Don't worry, I'm not going to bill you guys. iPhone users. iPhone users. Now, you know iCloud. Your iCloud is just an example of what? Of the cloud platform. If you stop using the iPhone that you're currently using, if you travel to UK and you buy a new iPhone, what do you just need to be able to access your files? The login details to what? To your iCloud. That's just an example of what the cloud environment provides. So that is to tell us that there are several opportunities. Cloud computing is just one of them. Now, being able to build an identity, identifying what you can do. I've had people ask several questions. Where can I start from? This one, that one. Start from where you are. What are those things that are available for you at your disposal? YouTube is there, DIY. Let me tell you something. I personally, most of the things that I know today, or most of the things that brings, that serve as a source of money for me, I learned them myself. Through YouTube, Coursera. How many of us know Coursera? YouTube, Udemy, Coursera. Those are places where you can actually learn and acquire skills. And don't say that, I don't have a laptop. I started with my phone. You might not believe, but I started with my phone. And what I'm saying is like 6 years ago. Or maybe 7 years ago, thereabout. But there's something that speaks to consistency. So if it is one thing that you think that, data analytics is something that I will be able to do, pick that data analytics. Start from the basics. Understand what is required. And then build on it. Technology is wide, vast. It's not only those that are doing coding that are into tech. No. In fact, as I am like this, I am earning way more than some people that are doing coding. So it's not, and I'm not even writing codes. I'm not saying that programmers are, no. There are programmers that even earn way more than I earn. Like all these senior software developers. Do you understand? So identify that particular part that interests you, and then start building on it. All the energy, everybody will not be a content creator. Trust me. I was reading something on Twitter yesterday that Lai and there's this other guy, I forgot his name, that they've been content creators for a while and they have not bought Benz. Now, that's to tell you that, see, yes, content creator might be lucrative, but another thing that happens is that you have way too many people already in that business. So if you are going to be doing your own content creation, you have to look for something that is what? Explicit, something that is exceptional. That's why you see many, I'm so sorry to say this, that's why you see many of our women out there that they expose their body online just because they want to earn likes, follow, and all of those things. Those things and only stay for a short period of time. They won't last. If I'm going to employ you, the first thing I do, I want to see your social media account, your profile. What goes on there? That's what I want to see. I want to know who you are, aside from the person that I'm seeing. So I go back there, check, do my findings. Why? Because for my organization, I have a reputation to what? To also protect. We might not know the havoc that is going to cause. While we are doing it, we are enjoying. I have likes, follow, and everybody's all over the place. You are even getting so many DMs. But by the time you are going to be realizing the havoc that it will cost, I pray that it will not be too late. So it is better off. I'm not saying that you should not be content creators, no. But I'm saying that there is something much more that you can actually do for yourself. And technology is so wide that it has a room, it has a flat, it has everything ensuite for everybody. If you are someone who creates content, do you know that you are on technology? How about, we all know ChatGPT, right? How about going to ChatGPT, ask questions, and then start creating content in that regard? That's another way to make money from what? From technology. Everybody might not be a data scientist. Everybody might not be a programmer. What about tech sales? You are here. You know how to market products. I'm selling shoes. I'm selling clothes. You ask that person that is very, very good at, if you go to maybe a particular class or on your WhatsApp status, everything will be looking like waist bead. And then you know how to attract audience. You can also function in tech. You can be a salesperson. We call them tech what? Tech sales. So if you are here, if you have been thinking that, oh, this technology that they are saying is, I don't like stress. Is this? No, there are other areas that you can function effectively as far as technology is concerned. So it's now left to you what? To be able to identify those things and be able to key into those things and then generate income for yourself. Because that's very, very crucial. You have people that are migrating. People are leaving the country. If you think there are no jobs in Nigeria, I'm here to tell you that there are jobs. Recently, I have 6 people that left my department and they relocated to Canada. So that means that I have 6 openings already. Now, as the head of the department, I'm trying to look for how best to fit into those roles that I have left. And trust me, I'm not even the best people that I'm going to employ now. I won't even be able to pay the amount that those guys that were earning before. You have to actually increase it. Because you are looking for what? Professional hiring. And that was what led me to the question I asked initially. What are you willing to offer? What are you able to offer? What skills do you have? It's not just about, oh, I know how to use Word document. I know how to use Excel. How about Power BI? How many of us know what Power BI is? Microsoft Power BI. Anybody? Yes, beautiful. Microsoft Power BI is more like an advanced Excel tool. Now, there are people that I know, the only thing they know how to do is that Microsoft Power BI. They will help you analyze your data. They will clean your data for you. And do you do research work on your project? Who are those statistic people that you take your project to? There are statistic people that you take it to now, and they will help you to analyze your project, right? Now, do you think that you cannot do that statistic work yourself? You can do it yourself. There are tools all over the place that can help us. It's just about what? Harnessing this opportunity. Putting ourselves in the right position. Do you understand what I'm saying now? Harnessing this opportunity. There are opportunities everywhere. I've mentioned Udemy, I've mentioned Coursera. Because maybe, let's say you even have to pay for those ones. What about YouTube? If you go to YouTube today and you click on how to become a data scientist, how to become a cloud computing professional, how to become a programmer, how to become a JavaScript developer. There are so many videos that you are going to see that will help you to be able to develop yourself. So that's what the pathway, finding things that you can do and then being able to key into it. So if you have been thinking that, oh, I don't know programming, how am I going to work in tech? I'm here to tell you that programming is not the only thing that you do in tech. There's tech sales. You can work in sales. There's cloud computing. So that one of our guest speaker here is going to speak about UI UX, which is another big thing. If you're a graphics designer, don't stop at just being a graphics designer alone. How about you also go into UI UX? Someone asked a question earlier. Sorry, am I communicating? Are you sure? Or should I stop? Okay. I want to be sure that I'm not speaking to myself. All right. Now, someone asked a question earlier, and the person was like, okay, how do you stay in one particular part or one particular career path and not be moving from one place to another? Now, what I want to tell you is that I will use myself as an example. I started as a content creator. I moved from being a content creator into business analysis, cloud professional, project management. Now, I did not just move into business analysis and project management. I moved there because there was a need. Now, I was able to identify that need, and then I know that, oh, this is the need that is available. What can I do to be able to key into that need? See, why I said this earlier, that if you have HND, is no barrier. There is no limit to the job that you can get. Do you know why? Interviews today, I can tell you categorically that 70% of the interviews that you see in tech today, they don't have anything to do with your degree. They don't have anything to do with the result that you have. Do you know what they need? Do you know what do they need? Yes?
What you have upstairs.
What you have upstairs. And that's one. And the second thing is what? Professional certification. So at this very, very stage that we are, if you have not been thinking about professional certification before, it is time to what? You start thinking about it. If you have not thought of, oh, which professional certification should I write? What should I do? It is high time you start what? Thinking about it. Remote jobs are all over the place. Those guys will not ask you, oh, what certificates do you have? No. Those jobs are test-based. They will give you a project. Do this project for us. And then you have the results. And another interesting thing is that, see, there's so many technologies and also methodologies that is being used in technology. If you think that, oh, well, I don't know how to write codes. I'm not good with data science. I'm not good with this. I'm not good with that. How about being a leader in technology? Leading a team in tech. Has anybody about Scrum? Yes, Scrum Master. Scrum Master. Scrum Master. Anybody? Is there a Scrum Master here? Oh, beautiful. Okay. Where is the Scrum Master? Nice, beautiful, beautiful. So, now, as he is now, let me ask him a question. Can you run us through maybe us through what your task entails as a Scrum Master? Clap for him, please.
Okay, your task entails as managing the programmers, different sessions. As a project manager, you manage the tasks. You also manage costs. You also manage the time frame for the projects. And you also manage all the different departments.
Thank you very much. So you heard what he said. Management. Now, thank God that we have a Scrum Master in the house, so that it won't look as if, oh, Israel is just telling us stories, or Israel is just telling us lies. I'm telling you what happens in reality. He might not be a programmer. Are you a programmer? No. Can you see? But he has been able to develop himself with the Scrum methodology. And what does Scrum methodology entails? You come to work in the morning, you have development that consists of programming, software, and likes. And then you have management team. You have product owners. The application that you use, bank app, mobile apps that you use, they are products. So you have product owners that are in charge of those applications. It's not just by coincidence that you log into your mobile app and then you're able to see your money, that's the amount that is remaining in your account is the first thing you see. No, it's not just by coincidence. Someone designed that thing to look that way. If you log into your mobile app tomorrow and then you cannot see your money, or maybe you have to click like 4 or 5, you have to do 5 clicks before you are able to see the amount that is remaining in your account, how are you going to feel? What will come to your mind first? I want to go home alone. If I log into my app first thing and I did not see my money, do you understand? So those things did not just happen because that's how it's been. No, someone designed it that way. And that's where product management what comes in. So he is here, a Scrum Master. He does not know how to write program codes. He does not know how to write anything. But he understands how to manage people. And that was what made him a Scrum Master. If you check Google today, a Scrum Master is earning on the average of maybe between $50,000 to maybe $70,000 a year, depending on the organization that I'm working with. So I come to work in the morning with a development team. Guys, what were you able to do yesterday? What do you intend to do today? Is there any barrier? Is there any challenge? Is there any impediment? How do we solve the impediment? And that's just his job. So the next day again, he comes up for the same thing. So this is to tell you that it is not only all those known career paths that are in tech. There are varieties of career paths that are in technology. So identify which area you want to focus on and then build yourself. Consistently build yourself. There's an adage that one of my mentors used to say, which I love so much. He said that you don't jump up to stay up. You climb up to stay up. Do you understand what I said? You don't jump up to stay up. You do what? You do what? You climb up to stay up. If I jump up like this, I can't stay up. But if I climb up, it means that there are several processes that has been involved. Maybe I've been able to use a ladder or something, and then I can climb up to stay up. So identifying what you can do, develop in that particular space. And then the second thing also that can help us is mentorship, just like what Mr. Tosin has said. Another thing that I want to ask is, how many of us has a LinkedIn account here? A LinkedIn account. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. So those people that do not have a LinkedIn account, please try as much as possible to what? To open a LinkedIn account right here today. Go to your mobile app, download LinkedIn, create an account. Do you know what LinkedIn does for you? Do you know what it does for you? It makes it much more easier for you to connect to the community that would benefit you. If I want to become a data scientist, or if I want to become a cloud professional, the only place that I will be able to find professionals in that particular space and learn from them is on LinkedIn. The only place I can be able to connect to those professionals is on LinkedIn. The only place where I will be able to see opportunities, maybe there's a job opening. Some people will stay at home. I don't have a job. I'm looking for a job. Have you even been able to position yourself into the right place? And I said it, and I'm going to say it again. There are jobs now. You need to see the large number of Nigerians that are migrating out of the country in droves. So jobs are being left. Organizations are actively looking for people to fill in those places. Why do you think those banks are having issues? Because most of their software developers are what? Are migrating. And that's an opening for you. So there is need. Organizations are losing their marketers. Everybody is moving to UK. Everybody is moving to Canada. In my own department, 6 people moved to Canada just in the space of 2 months. And then you have to look for people that will replace them. Because if you don't replace that particular position, it will affect the job. It will affect the business. Do you understand? So the mindset of, there's no job, if you want to work in Nigeria, you need connection. Yes, you might need connection. But you personally, yourself, what can you offer? If they invite you to an interview, what can you do for us? As little as, I can be able to project the image of the organization. I can be able to project the image of the organization fantastically well. I'm a graphic designer. I can be able to maybe manage the day-to-day activities of the organization. I can work well in this particular department, in that department. It gives the employer an interesting part of you that, okay, this person actually knows what he or she is doing. And then another thing is this, for LinkedIn now, starting out, identifying your identity, what you are good at, developing it. How develop yourself. How do you find people that will help you develop yourself? Open a LinkedIn account. Go to the LinkedIn page, search. In fact, the way you connect to people, there are some people that it is follow that will be on their, you only see follow, right? But if you look at beside that follow, for those people that know what I'm saying, beside that follow, you will see like a 3 line or a 3 dotted line. If you click on that 3 dotted line, you will see connect. Now, when you click on that connect, you can send in message. I think it's like maybe 100 words or maybe 150 words. You can send in message. These are the hack that guys are using to land the jobs of their dreams. I can go to an organization, look for, let's say for instance, I'm looking for a job with Nestle. And I know that, oh, I am maybe a data analyst. I can work around data. I know how to use Excel. I know how to use Power BI. I can identify the profile of the HR person in Nestle. Go to LinkedIn, just search Nestle. Search Nestle in people. You will see list of people that works in Nestle. Look at their job roles. You'd see human resource. That kind of person, you could connect to that person, send just a short message. I am good with this. I am looking for an internship opportunity with the organization. In fact, you might go as far as saying that you don't have to pay me. I have seen people that have sent me messages like that. And when I start identifying people that I want to work with, obviously, I'm going to prioritize those people. My organization is currently working on a project, which I am the program manager for that project, for Stanbic IBTC. And we are training 250 graduates in the areas of technology, Java Spring Boot, C#, cloud computing, Microsoft Azure. Now, you know that for cloud computing, Microsoft Azure, AWS, Google Cloud, they are like the 3 major cloud service providers. But Microsoft Azure is dominant here in Nigeria because many organizations are using Microsoft. And then AWS has the largest market share globally. So if you are looking at going into cloud computing, if you want to operate in Nigeria, you might pick Microsoft Azure. If you are looking at a global space, you might go for AWS Cloud. And do you know that organizations are willing to employ people that are in Africa, professionals in Africa, more than they do employ people in their own country? Who knows why? Why? Who knows why? Okay. Are we still together? Okay. Now, this organization will prefer to employ people from Africa, Nigerians, because they pay you. They won't pay you as much as they will pay people that are working in their own country. The tax, insurance, all of those things is not on. Yes, it's inclusive of the amount that they are going to pay you. But over there, it's going to be clearly what's spelled out. But when they pay you here, they pay everything inclusive. Health, tax, all of those things. So it is profitable for their own business. And at the same time, it's profitable for you too. Imagine you are in Nigeria and you are earning like maybe $3,000 per month. Now, $3,000 per month is like what? 3 million naira. You are a big boy already now. Do you understand what I'm saying? I have some of my friends. While we're trying to plan for vacation and stuff, and then some relocate, maybe I will relocate to UK, interested in relocation. Tell you that no, he's not relocating. He's working from home. He stays in one of the very, very nice areas in Lagos, and he's living his best life. Do you understand? And he's making his money, he's able to invest his money in other things. So being able to understand these processes, it is not rocket science. Forget it. It is something that is possible, that is achievable. I started as a content creator, and now I am leading a team of maybe like, let's say roughly 30 to 35 people. So it is something that you also can do. And I'm an HND graduate. Yes, I probably would have gone to school or have several professional certifications, but I started working with my HND certificate. What was different was the skills that I've been able to acquire. And that is why I'm also telling us today, what can make you different or what will make you stand out is those skills that you're able to acquire. So I've talked about what? Identifying yourself. And then I mentioned leveraging on opportunities. And then another thing I also want to talk about is community. See, for you to go far, community will help you. If I have opportunities, maybe job opportunities or anything, I share it with my community first. And that's where people say, oh, you only get job by connections. So it's not like it's the connection per se. Yes, you get job by connections, but the opportunities that would come, are you also in that community? Because that connection will only come to that community. So there are several communities. Community of developers. There is Facebook Developer Circle. Close this down now on Facebook or something. There are several communities that you can join on LinkedIn. So when you join those communities, it makes it much more easier. When they drop information, what it does, you even know the latest trend that is currently ongoing as far as your career path is concerned. Maybe, we now have, you are used to maybe Windows 12, and then Windows 13 or Windows 14 is out. And they're like, there is this particular Windows. So development becomes much more easier for you. You are not left behind. All right? So those are the things that you want to look out for. And then continuous improvement. Find people amongst yourself that can help you. Not just people that or you go for outings together. No. People that career-wise, they can impact you positively. People that can show you opportunities. People that speak for you in places. So those are the people that you want to have in your circle. And then, so I don't want to take much of our time. I think I've been able to talk about tech identity. How can you go about it? Set clear objectives. Measure your progress. That's another thing that you should do. Measure your progress. So when you start, maybe you start learning data analytics and you start checking, okay, I have, how many curriculums are available? So I'll start today. 30 minutes every day. Be consistent. If it is in programming, data, UI, UX, 30 minutes every day. Be consistent. And then try as much as possible also to network. Create the right network. Build communities. Find yourself in communities. When I say community, it's not only about tech communities now. NGOs. How many of us know Slum to School Africa? Slum to School Africa. Anyone? You know Slum to School Africa? I volunteer at Slum to School Africa as the tech lead for innovation. Now, I am volunteering my time because not only am I happy volunteering my time, I'm also getting something in return. What am I getting in return? The gift of amazing people. The gift of the right people. Because in that particular space, you will not find just any other person. You find people that are successful. And then you can easily, that's like what do you call it now? A level ground to engage in that particular space. How many of us are from Lagos here? Lagos. Do you know Lagos Food Bank? Lagos Food Bank. I volunteer at Lagos Food Bank also. Some of the gigs I was able to get this year was from people from Lagos Food Bank. We were just having conversations. And they were like, our organization is trying to migrate to a cloud service. And I was like, really? Okay. Don't worry, I can connect you to AWS. And that was just it. So these are places that you meet people. It's not just about sitting in your room every day, every time, and saying, there's no job, I'm looking for a job. Or some of us can go that's when you start fighting one uncle. That uncle is supposed to help you get a job. The uncle did not even try. It's not the uncle's fault. Most of us now, we are going to become uncles very soon. And then you will know whether it is easy or difficult, you will know. Most of us, you become aunties very soon. Now, I'm an uncle to some of my people now. I know that, it's not as easy as we used to see it that way. Then, when I was looking for a job, it felt like, I have uncles that are in these places now. Why can't they just help me? And then just fix me into one job and let me just... But it's not as easy as it is. In fact, now, it's even much more easier and a little bit difficult. Why? Because it is easier for you to actually land a job now if you have the right skills. But it is now difficult again because you need to prove yourself. You need to be able to show what you can give. If I'm going to employ you, I am not going to say, yes, I want to see your certificate, your results. Those ones are just normal, like they are just the peripheral. What skills do you have? It is only organizations that are doing graduate training, maybe banks, and some of KPMG, so those organizations that are doing graduate training. They are those ones that you can say, okay, maybe your certificate is very, very important there. But that is why we are saying that while you are still in school now, you can start developing yourself. You can start learning the basics of those things. Spend money to acquire knowledge. That's another thing. If you get knowledge free of charge, you might not value it. Sincerely. Like what I was saying, some people, you won't, because you are not paying. Some of us that we are here now, because we are not paying to attend this kind of conference. Last 3 weeks ago, I had the same session, and it's just something like this that we're discussing. And people paid as much as, I think, 50,000 naira. It was at Lagos Business School. People pay as much as 50,000 naira to be at that place. Right? But these are things that you can actually learn for free. So when opportunity also come, Coursera is there, Udemy is there. As small as 3,000 naira, as small as 2,000 naira, that's what they sell the courses there. You will see a course of like maybe 30 hours, 40 hours for just 3,500. And it's a lifetime purchase. Once you buy it today, it's going to be there forever. So at your own leisure time, you can go there to learn those things. So it is very, very important and crucial for us to go through that process. And then on the final notes, learn from your challenges and embrace change and be adaptable. Don't be rigid. Don't say, well, this is the only thing that I know. How many of us, graphic designers that are in the house? Graphic designers. Yes? You are a graphic designer, right? How many tools are you able to use? What are the main tools that you are familiar with? Corel Draw. Okay. Adobe. Sorry. Somebody said Snapchat. Where? Yes, what are tools that you are familiar with? Oh, she's shy. Yes? Corel Draw and Photoshop. Okay, beautiful. Now, as a graphics designer, Corel Draw and Photoshop is fantastic. But do you know that there are other tools that are also coming up, right? So, like maybe Figma for UI UX person. Now, what I'm saying is that embrace change and be adaptable. Don't just stay as one position. Don't be rigid. Don't say that, this one that I'm okay with it. People are doing graphic design. Those people that print banners. If you go to all these printing places, you see people that are doing all of those things, right? What are you able to bring to the table? What can you do differently? Going to employ you as a graphics designer, I won't employ somebody that just know how to use Corel Draw. If you know how to use 2 tools, I can say, oh, beautiful. You have upper hand. If there's another person that know how to use 3 or 4 tools, that person also has what? More upper hand or more edge than someone that just have what? 1 tool. So on this note, try as much as possible to embrace what? Embrace what? Change. Be adaptable. Things are changing by the way. So try as much as possible also what? To be able to key into those changes. And lastly, we all know ChatGPT now, right? We all know ChatGPT. Now, do you know that you can use ChatGPT to do a lot of things? But many people still don't know how to use ChatGPT. You just go to ChatGPT and you ask questions. How about you composing? It's just like you are giving instruction. Or who are the programmers in the house? There's a name that they used to call it in programming. Prompt. Is that what you guys call it? Program at the hand. You give a prompt. You are telling it that you can go to your ChatGPT and say, act as a data scientist and tell me what are the things I need to learn to become the best data scientist. You would see the result that it's going to give out to you. Do you have anybody that has ChatGPT on their mobile phones here? Put that thing in and let's see the result. So thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for listening. Thank you for the attentiveness. I really appreciate it. I look for guys in higher places, even places way higher than where I am. And I wish you all guys the very best. Believe in yourself, and the sky is no longer the limit. The sky is just the beginning. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Israel. That was enlightening. I hope everybody learned something. Okay, we won't be taking questions yet, but please jot them down in your papers so you don't forget. We'll come to questions later. While his session was on, we we had some of our guests come in. Please, let's give her a round of applause. We have our mommy in our midst, Dr. Mrs. Odunton. Please come forward, man, join us. Also in our midst, we have one of our guests as well, Mr. Olaiton Adeboye. Please join us on the high table as well. So we'll be learning from them as we go on. So, as I said, please write your questions down. Please, all these things. Don't worry, sir. Forget, this is not class, so ask your question. Feel free, be at peace. No first class here. Let us all learn something, please. The reason I said someone asked the question the other time that I chose not to answer, I believe now you have an answer. He was talking about cybersecurity majorly, and the person's question was centered, cloud computing. Oh, okay. The question is not yet answered. We'll still come to it. So, let's give a round of applause to our next guest. That says Oluwatobi Ogunjimi as he presents what he has for us as well. Let me read his bio as well, so that you can know his big men we have in our midst. Oluwatobi is a product design, UI UX. How many UI UX are here? How many UI UX? That's what we are saying. You people are always covering up. Do you know if you have one job extra that will just say, help me finish it, and he will pay you for it? UI UX. I want Figma, product design. Okay, well, if you like, be shy. You're on your own. He's a product design, UI UX freelancer with 5 years of experience in the tech and has experience in user experience, research, interface design, brand, and product design. Oluwatobi's design philosophy is minimalist and simple. He has worked with companies like Zurich Team, Worker Networks, Sheruta, Pickup, Brand Builder, and T40 Technologies. He is also a design tutor and speaker, offering mentorship sessions. Offering what? Mentorship session. You notice that everything we've been saying from the past two speakers, one of the major things everyone talking about was what? Get a mentor in what you're doing. Mentorship sessions and live interactive sessions for experienced designers. Please let's give him a round of applause.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. Greatest Nigerian students. Greatest Nigerian students. It's actually a pleasure to be here and having to see your beautiful faces. But before I proceed, I would like to say good afternoon to everyone present, all available lecturers, guest speakers, and Sir Kutsi. That was a very good section. Thank you very much. Please, a round of applause for him. All right. Like you said, okay, please. Today we'll be talking about empowering the future. Now, you trying to discover your identity, right? So now, please, let's just get into it. Next slide. Okay. If you should notice something since we've started, to every speaker that actually comes on here, they try to give you like a background knowledge, like how they started, right? So now, I'm going to channel that energy towards my presentation too. And like he actually said, I'm actually a product designer, but I actually started out as a graphic designer. Okay, now, I said a little fun fact about me. I'm actually a product designer at T40 Technologies. I'm a trainer. Even, there are some people like, if they want to lie, they are so creative that they can actually cook something for you and then you will actually take it, right? So now, getting into the creative career, please, next slide. Go back a little bit. Just back a little. All right, fine. Okay, now, this is actually a picture of me. I don't know if you can see it clearly. If you can see it clearly, please, just go with me. This was my early days, as far back as 2014, 2015, right? You said? Fine boy, okay, nice. Now, what I'm just trying to pick from here is, I actually had an asset which I never knew it was existing, right? And then my question now before I proceed is any creative here in the house, maybe you're a graphic designer, a UI, UX, or anything, anybody? Can you tell me, what do you think your greatest asset is? You don't know. Anybody? It could be anybody. You want to try? Your thoughts. Okay, you are right on track. He's right, actually. But I actually put it to be your mind. And how do I mean? Your mindset, your thoughts. Now, back then, all I knew was graphic design. Okay? I had no idea of maybe there's one product design anywhere or there is any UI UX design anywhere. Right? But fast forward to, please, sir. Just hold on. All right. Fast forward to post-COVID, I think that was 2021. I got to know about product design. And it was actually as a result of a conversation I had with my mentor. Okay? And that's why for everyone present here, a mentor is actually important, like very, very important. And please, as you go out to sort for mentors, please don't bother them too much, okay? They also have things going on for them. They also have work and tasks to do, right? Now, fast forward to 2021, I had a conversation with him, and he just mentioned UI, UX, and that was all. But out of curiosity and me trying to try every other opportunities, I was able to just get my hands on, back then, Adobe XD. For anyone who know about it too, Adobe XD, right? So I tried something out, and then later, that was how the story all started. Now, not to bore you with my story, what I'm just trying to tell you is, there is actually that beginning stage, you trying to discover yourself for whatever skill you're trying to do. Now, this is loading. This was September 2022. When the last speaker actually spoke, he mentioned something about LinkedIn, right? LinkedIn is actually very, very important. I'll still paraphrase on it, but just to, say something about that picture you are looking at. I got to speak at more like a tech academy in Lagos last year. And the person who reached out to me was from LinkedIn. I never knew her. We've never from once spoke, but she just reached out. And that is you trying to, leverage on opportunities and things that actually come to you at your comfort. All right. Going into the business of the day, we are talking about empowering the future. I think that's your network. There has to be a network before it can load up. Sorry about that, please. Now, we are talking about empowering the future, but we are toning it down to creative-based career, right? I will try as much as possible to, touch a little into other tech skills. But my own talk will be basically on creative careers. And then one thing I actually want to say, designer, or you being a product designer. A creative person could actually be anything. Okay. Now, let's discuss the why. I'll just, this is not coming up, I'll just dictate from here. Now, I said the ability for you to actually express your ideas, your imaginations, is actually what I actually termed creativity. Okay. I said, bringing up ideas that you are trying to implement. Okay. Now, we are trying to create a career-based skill. Okay. Now, when you're having that, your long-term goals, please, are you with me? Hello. Sorry, apologies. I know we all are tired, right? But please, let's just do this quickly so we can all go. Apologies. Thank you very much. Okay, right. Now, I was saying, when you start having that your long-term goals, making a living by exploring a particular creative-based skills, which is actually for a very long term, then you're actually having a career. And what do I mean by that? What I'm trying to say is, you could be a graphic designer now, right? But you never can tell what that can actually do for you in the nearest future. I'll still get into it, but let me just tell you, I personally actually studied civil engineering in the school. But today, I think I found myself doing tech. So now, empowering the future itself is you trying to, support and enable technology. And what does that actually mean? Like he said, he actually had more like a, training sometimes where people actually, they had to pay for it to access that opportunity. And now, that's one thing to tell you, like, people are actually empowering the future. Like, they actually want people to, get that particular skill, and they are willing, to take you on and then teach you on how best you can actually use that opportunity and that skills. Now, please, next slide. Okay, thank you. Now, for you to actually have a creative career, I try to create more like just a 3-phase roadmap for you. And the first phase, I call it the decision phase, right? Now, one thing I've come to discover is to everything you do, there's always a decision. And it's either for you to actually make a right decision or you make the wrong decision. Okay? But even at that, whatever decision you make, made or bound to make mistakes. So if at that point you are trying to make a decision of whatever skill you are trying to, do, be it a creative career, be it a product design, or you want to go into coding, go into cybersecurity, okay, there's actually that phase I personally call the decision phase. And that phase is, the kind of the confused state for you, because I was there and I actually know how I felt back then. But because I personally was able to talk to, my mentor then, I was, able to get some kind of guideline going through that particular phase. Now, if you really want to have a creative career, you owe yourself a question. And that question is, do I really want to do this? See, let me tell you something. There is no skill you want to get into that is not. See people's successes online, and then you just feel like, okay, it's just something you can just scrape on, and then you just get on it, and then you start making money from it. It's a very big lie. I'm sorry to burst your bubble. Okay, now, after that decision phase, now you have the learning and the practicing phase. You really have to learn to, practice. You really need to practice a lot. That is not actually limited to just a creative career. It is limited to every other skills you want to learn. So the hardest part, but I actually think is the most promising and the rewarding phase. Because it's at this learning phase you tend to, discover yourself more when you're trying to get on that creative career you're trying to pursue. So and then also as you are learning and you are also putting into practice what you've actually gathered over time in your research. Do you get? So now, and one cheat about creative career is you practicing and you having to practice over and over again. And that's to tell you, like, whatever thing you want to do, whatever tool, course. I could remember he was asking, like, what tools do you know as a designer? And someone mentioned CorelDRAW and Photoshop. Beyond CorelDRAW and Photoshop, there are many other tools you can actually use. I can even tell you, like, even you can actually make a logo on Figma itself. And that's you exploring whatever tools you actually have at hand. Some people actually make good designs with Canva. People make designs with Illustrator. Okay, so now, whatever tool you actually have at or you are trying to learn, please try to learn it and try to, pick a niche in the creative career, which I'll still get into very soon. Now, the building phase. You've actually made that decision and you've got the conviction of, okay, you actually want to major yourself into a creative skill, be it a UI UX designer or a product designer. But there is that building stage you are trying to, create a very good career out of it. And at that particular stage, what you are just trying to do is just to, build a network around you. Because one thing that particular job or you're trying to get into that industry, you need hands-on experience. And that's why it is very, very important for you, beyond your certification in school, you really have to learn that your skill. Okay, so when you learn skill like the Zuri team, what they do there is you, or whatever stack you find yourself, be it UI UX, be it coding or programming, okay? They pair you guys into groups whereby you are able to, work on a particular project, which you can actually add to your portfolio or your profile, which helps you whenever you are trying to, secure that job you are looking for. It's like a stepping stone into it. So at your building state, what you are just trying to do is you are trying to, get into the industry and then try to see what you can actually get out of it. And then I would advise us, please, when you are trying to get a particular job, after that your learning and your practicing phase, please try to go for entry-level jobs. Okay? And then you could be someone like, I wouldn't say someone like me, but there are times you just need that skill or you need that place to actually work without you being getting paid for it. But I can also put it to you like, if you should tell someone, like on LinkedIn, he mentioned it, people actually reach out to him there, like they want to work for him for free. I can tell you categorically, there are times from his personal pockets, he will send them something just for data. Am I right or wrong, sir? Sakuti. That's him trying to show appreciation for whatever thing you are trying to do. And that's you gaining in two different ways. You are learning, and as well, you're also earning something. Okay, please, the next slide. Okay, I actually highlighted some creative skills to, pick up. And that's brand design, motion design, animation design, illustration designs, content design, design manager, marketing designs. You can as well build in the media, art directions, and all of those things. Also, there is the product design and the UI UX design. Now, this list I actually have here is beyond and more than that. And like I said earlier, creative skills goes beyond you just being a designer alone. Okay, because I believe each and every one of us, we actually have that injection of creativity in us. But all because we haven't explored it, right? That's why we feel like, okay, maybe we actually don't have that particular creative injection in us. The next slide. Okay. And now this is where it actually gets interesting. Now, I actually mentioned like you have like 3 roadmaps, which is that your decision phase. You also have that learning and practicing phase, and as well, the building stage. But beyond that, you really need to understand the tech industry or the creative industry. And I will tell you, gone are those days whereby when you have like a very good certification or a very good grade from the university, back in the days of our parents, you have a job waiting for you somewhere. But these days, the job and the job market is really, really competitive, such that if you are trying to get into it, you actually have to be the best at what you do. And how do I mean? Whatever creative skill you try to pick up, okay, you really need to own it. And how do I mean you owning it? You really have to practice and learn more about it. Beyond being a product designer myself, there are other things I try to do, or there are other skills I try to, learn, just to, have that particular leverage. Because the same way you are trying to learn that, your creative skill, is the same way some other persons are somewhere trying to learn it. And you all are going to meet at some point, which is the creative industry itself, which is at that point you are trying to, get your job. And in my slides, I actually wrote something like tech or, the career skill is not a SACPA elevating scheme. And how do I mean? What I'm trying to say is, please, whatever skill you want to take on or whatever skill you want to do, don't see it as a quick scheme, rich quick, or how do they put it, sorry? Quick, rich scheme, sorry. So now, what I'm trying to say is, don't see it as, okay, you are trying to get out of that particular, financial struggle you actually have. Take it as, if today you don't get paid for, doing whatever skill you have at hand, be it creative skill or the programming or the computer skills, you can actually do it for free. Now, when you do that, that's to tell you like, I feel you are on the right path. If you can sit down for hours and hours learning something over and over again, okay, then I think you are doing the right thing. So now, what we are just trying to do here today is just, give us an insight and then open our mind to, the career opportunities we can actually get into after our, our educational time in school. Please, next slide. Go back a little bit, just once. All right, thank you. Please. Now, we are talking about computer science as a course. I actually want us to know one thing, like, please, school is not scam. I put it to you, school is not scam. And then, one thing you need to know is, like I said, he's actually an HND holder before he actually went on to get much more certifications. And I put it to you too, I'm actually an HND holder too. So I wouldn't want you to think of it as you having your HND certification or your ND certification to be like a limiting factor to you to whatever opportunities you can actually take, right? I got into a job whereby I actually used my ND certification to apply to the job, right? Now, beyond your school certification, you really need to get that particular skill. Don't let us limit ourselves to just whatever it's been taught in the class, okay? The lecturers are here to actually lecture us, and it is left to us to actually, get home, get back in our own space, and then try to explore things we are being taught. So whatever creative or a career skills you are trying to, get into, you really need to learn like a lot. And that's why we need to invest our time right now. And it's not too late to start. It's not too late. There are very much opportunity. Even the same way they are actually paid courses, there are free courses you can take, whereby you just get to pay your, your certification fee. And that's the Zuri, the HNG, and I think there's Sidozo as well. If anybody need any of those links, I'm willing to share with you. So please, the computer science, hold on. The computer science actually give you that leverage and then the relevance for you to actually learn the fundamentals of the computing itself. Because I can say majority of us here, we actually understand what HTML is, what CSS is, what JavaScript is. But me as a person coming from civil engineering and then learning design, it took me a while to actually know what those terms means. So please, I would really want us to, see beyond our certifications, okay, by learning those skills we are trying to, get into. Back. Okay. Now, exploring design opportunities. Like I said, the opportunities in the creative industry is endless. It is very, very endless. But one thing you also need as a creative person is whatever project you work on to actually build your portfolio is what really matters. Which is why when you're trying to build a particular portfolio for yourself, whatever it is you have there has to be comprehensive. Be it a brand designer or a product designer, you actually need that portfolio to get on any other jobs. Because if any client or any potential client is coming to you, they actually want to see what you know, what you've done over time, and what you can, your capabilities beyond what they actually give you. And beyond all those things, there are additional skills we actually need to learn, right? Which is beyond you learning and understanding those design tools. And that's your communication skills and your marketing skills. And how do I mean marketing? I'm not saying you go out and then start talking, I do designs. No. That's you trying to put yourself out there and let people know what you do as a person, as a creative. And there are platforms for you to actually, host your jobs and then create portfolios. And then let me also tell you, if you are trying to have a creative career, you don't really need to know how to code. You don't need to. Because there are no code tools you can actually use in hosting your portfolio itself, and even creating websites for clients, which you can actually earn good money from. So please, when we are trying to explore opportunity, let's try to, be the best at what we do, and then learn that skills more and more. We'll still get into the diversity game where I actually explain more on that. Please, next slide. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Now, nurturing your creative career. And yeah, what I'm trying to say is, whatever career you are trying to have, or whatever skill you are trying to, hold on to, you really have to nurture it. And what I'm trying to say in essence is, even if you have to grow a plant itself, you really have to water it over and over again. Okay. Now, when you're trying to, nurture your creative career, what you are trying to do at that point is you are trying to develop your skills more and more. Like I said, back in 2014, all I know and understand is CorelDRAW itself. I never know about Photoshop until about 2019, 2020. Okay, but I try my hands to do what I can actually do on CorelDRAW. And then also, one thing you need to learn is, like I said, don't let tools actually limit you. Please, don't let the tools limit you. You are using Photoshop doesn't mean you are not a designer. There are some people who actually use just Adobe Illustrators, and they are very, very good at what they do. But now people are trying to, pivot into using Figma for, most of the, the projects they have ongoing. And why are they doing that? Because Figma actually allows you, to save all your works in the cloud. You don't really have to save on your system, whereby for those who don't have like an heavy RAM or an heavy ROM, it you and saves you that time of your system having to load over time. And also, one thing I would like to say is, when you're trying to nurture your career or you're trying to get into design itself, please and please, don't allow anything to limit you. I know people are here who are trying to get a particular skill, but you are feeling like, okay, because you don't have a system or you don't have a PC, you can't actually do anything. Please, just start with your phone. I'm not saying you are going to design on Figma using your phone. No. There are other fundamentals and theory you still need to learn, even when you're trying to do that creative learning. And why I'm saying that is, myself, I actually don't know about the theoretical part of design when I started. I had to go back into it after I've actually learned some particular tools. So please, not to actually bore us, what I'm just trying to say in essence is, whatever skill we are trying to do, please don't allow us to be obsolete. Let's try to learn and learn more. Okay. Please, the next slide. Who's here? Sorry. It's fine here. Okay, it's fine. Now, the diversity game, which I just mentioned, earlier I was saying something about you don't really have to code before, you don't really know how to, you don't need to know how to code before be a creative. Okay, there are some other no-code tools you can use, like the Webflow tool, like the Framer, and you trying to, explore other AI tools. Now, I've come to realize, like, people tend to, we are comfortable in a particular space that we actually don't want to learn more. Once you are actually earning that particular money, learning to us comes like, I don't really have that time. All I just want to do is that work. At times, I find myself in that moment, but when you're trying to have a career, you need to have that your career goals and your roadmap. So those things, when you actually highlight it, we actually want you to push more. Because if your own goal is for you to actually work at Microsoft, or it's for you to work at LinkedIn or Google, so let me tell you, it actually goes way beyond you having to know just the Figma tool or you just being a designer. There are other things you actually need to learn to do for yourself. So please, having that particular creative career, or if you actually want to be a product designer like myself, it actually takes a lot in the starting phase, which is why we need to actually invest our time. And if it's money you also want to invest your money. Over time, you actually get it back. Because one thing is for sure, if you don't learn, you can't earn. It's that simple. And that's the bottom line of this. Now, rounding up, please. Anyways, this is just for the jokes. And I said, 5 years ni computer science, coding industry, right? Then you need to learn code focus. And now, Latif Adedimeji actually has a particular character in that movie. And it was actually able, to speak to truth, right? Am I wrong? Now, as a person, I can tell it to you, like, you actually have that creative injection in you. But like I said, if you don't explore it, or if you don't try to discover yourself as to what you can actually do, you can't, possess that particular skill. So I would just enjoin us to please. And then this is just a wake-up call for those who are still in ND. If you are in ND here, please, you still have that opportunity more than those who are in the HNG. I'm not saying those who are in the HND, don't have the opportunity, but you still have that ample of time. And the time is, you actually have like a 1-year industrial attachment training. So whatever place you are going to, to do your industrial attachment, please try to use that as an opportunity to take on whatever skills you actually want to learn. And for those who are going out already, who are signing out very soon, of course, you are going to your service very soon, but that doesn't say you can actually get on that particular skill and start learning it. So for those who have already started learning a skill or the other, this is just to tell you, like, the beginning phase is always looking like it's tough, but once you start learning and you start, talking to people, networking with people, right, then it only gets better from there. So I would just say at this point, thank you very much for, coming out today to listen to my small talk. And like I said, I'm remain Oluwatobi Oguchimi. I think that'll be all. Thank you very much.
Let's give him a round of applause once again. I know they are mostly graphics designer. Most times, am I right? So I believe now everyone has, if you're a graphics designer, you've learned of parts that makes it easy for you to transition into product design, UI, UX, and so on. And he says something going on that I heard. If you are interested in those internship, I think he said it now, internship levels, you should reach out to him. You are in ND2 and you're about to go and spend the next 3 months in one filling station operating their computer. You could have better ways where you could learn and it could be beneficial to you. So please reach out to him. And if it is only 1 year, no? Oh, sorry, ND1 is 3 months. ND2 is 1 year. So your ND2 1 year IT, please, you could make use of opportunities like this. And it's not too late. Me, I used to say something, although everything they've said negates everything I would, like, a particular opinion, actually. I believe it's quite easier for you to learn while you're in school than when you're in school. That's my own personal opinion. They might not agree anyway. But it's easier for you to learn, merge everything with your school, everything. Share the hustle, everything together. Because by the time you're out of school, your next focus is, that's why I was asking a question that, should money be the focus? There's no way you graduate and money will not be the focus. Automatic, there's nothing you can. But while you're in school, you already have funding to some extent. So you have enough time to merge everything. Just take it as if it is one of your courses. 30 minutes per day, as one of the guests already explained. Just to learn these things. These are skills that the world wants you to have these days. There's no way you... I was asking the computer science, what skill? You are telling me Microsoft Word and Excel. The world is out of all those things already. So please pick all of these skills. There are lots of them. There are free courses online. And also, one major important thing that was mentioned by Mr. Israel was community. Community is very, 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 very important. Without community, maybe because I learn via community, so it's part of my own advice to people. Community pushes you further. When you are learning in your room, you just get tired today, I'm not learning. But if you are in a community of people that, as you're learning, you two you see that this person don't learn one new thing. You two will be, not new thing, but if you see the progress of this person are learning, you two you would be gingered to even move further. And the best place to find those kind of community are in school settings like this. So hopefully we are looking forward to, as we all gathered here today, we are a community. Hopefully, apart from programs like this, we get to organize other programs in subsequent sessions to gather ourselves, maybe trainings. How many of you know of data science? We have a community for data science inside school here. How many of you are aware? So most of you know, it was mentioning Power BI. Somebody came to tell me Power BI that we organize first semester, first semester after exam, free of charge, no payment. You can see how we mention how important Power BI is. How we mention Power BI is, so it's something all of us, there are lots of other communities we hope to build as we move on. So I'll be calling our last speaker, no questions still. After the whole thing, then we have a questioning session. Hopefully you stay till you even stay. So I'll be calling on, sorry. I'll be calling on Olaiton Adeboye. Please give him a round of applause. He is the engineering manager. Guess where? He's the engineering manager. Will you guess where? At Microsoft. Please give him a round of applause so you can see his big people. Microsoft. Microsoft Word. So Microsoft Word. Microsoft Excel. So let me read his bio briefly. Olaiton is one of the first set of students that was admitted into computer science program in 2008 in this school. Please give him a round of applause. So your senior is here. He finished his ND and HND from the Federal Polytechnic in Ilaro with distinction. He has over 10 years experience in software engineering. And he has worked on several projects, including, let me tell you this one, you'll be angry, including Poly E exam. So he was one of those that worked on the E exam platform and many other enterprise projects. He is today a senior software engineer manager at Microsoft, where he oversees the development of the test base for the M365 product while working with teams in the US, China, and Kenya. Please give him a round of applause once again.
Hi, good afternoon. I will try not to take our time. There's nothing I want to say that everyone here has not said. Instead, what I will try to do is just tell a story of how I got into tech. I have a slide, but I decided I'm not using it again because I don't want to take our time. So I'm looking to use about 10, maximum 15 minutes. I've set my time to that. So, as he has said, my name is Olaiton Adeboye. While I was on campus here, I was being referred to by my middle name, Mercy. That's what everyone at the time called me. And the story of what I do today actually started with how I started being referred to as Mercy. Okay, so, and the reason why I want to share the story instead, you've heard about what you need to do to get into software engineering, learning the programming language, data science, data engineering, all of those things you've heard it. So, and they are on the internet, so you can go check them out. But the reason why I want to share the story is that so that you can see how important it is for you to take this time very serious and how it will turn out if you take this time very serious. So everything that I do today actually started here, whether I go out and call myself self-taught software engineer, that's what we call ourselves. We say that our lecturers did not teach us, so we are self-taught and stuff like that. But it's not really like that, right? So 2008, there are about 50-something of us, I think 59 of us, admitted into computer science. No HND, we are ND1. We only had our lecturers at the time. We had our curriculum at the time as well. We didn't know anything. All of us did not know anything. All of us students, we didn't know anything. So the lecturers were introducing us to all kinds of things that they are doing at the time. And then we're being taught basic programming language. And then we used QBasic. And then it happened that we had a test. Our first test that we did was done by one of our lecturers at the time. I've forgotten his name. I think it was one of the corpus that were posted to the school that taught us. And he gave us a test in QBasic. And I happened to be one of the 3 highest scorers in the test. So he called us and then showed us how QBasic looked like. And that was the first time I'm seeing what programming looked like. Prior to that, I've been trying to write code because at the time we do not have computer lab, right? There was no computer lab. I didn't have a computer. In short, of all of us, only one person had a laptop, about 15 of us. So we didn't have any of these things. So everything we were being taught was on the blackboard, or the blackboard at the time, right? It was a B block and so there was a blackboard. And so that was the first introduction. Prior to that, I've been trying to write code on Microsoft Word because I didn't know what programming was. And I spent a lot of time trying to understand what I want to do if I study computer science, right? What can I do? My first option is I want to become lecturers like them because that's the only thing I was seeing. Like, I want to go finish my HND, I'll go do my BSc, I'll go do my master's, and then I'll come back and lecture. That was what I see. But then I stumbled on programming. And the way it happened is that one of the lecturers, we're approaching the time to write our project, right? And I will try to mention names once in a while because all of them are here. And today you will see them and then you will think, let me go do my thing. They are very, very instrumental to, I will be passing that now to where I am, right? So we're about writing our project and one of the lecturers called me, Mr. Akiyode. He's still here, right? Yeah, so he called me and said, Messi, what do you want to use to write your project? And I said, I don't know. It's like, are you going to use Java? I said, I don't know Java, but I think I can easily learn VB 6.0 because it's close to QBasic. And he gave me books, and then I went to read the books. I don't have laptops. I started reading the books. Eventually, I think I got a desktop machine that was very slow, but then I was able to understand and grab what I wanted to do. Project time came, and we had a friend then, he's deceased now, who had a laptop. He's the only one that he has the best laptop. So I went to him and negotiated with him that I will help you to write your project, but you will borrow me your laptop to write my project. So I will write your project for free, and then I will write my own for free. And that was, I wrote my project at the time, hospital management. That was my end-day project. And then I wrote his project. And then a lot of my course mates also came to me, which was very, very important to how I started actually writing code. Because at the time, I'm confessing in front of the lecturers now, I should not say it. At the time, I wrote about 90% of all the projects that we submitted in my state. So I wrote their softwares, and as I was writing it, it was helping me, right? Because I was learning new things. They would come to me, I would give them topic, I'll go back home and write it, while still using the laptop I negotiated. So, and I had a dirty trick I used at the time. The owner of the laptop will come to me and say, you should be done now. I said, your project, I cannot even finish it now. So while I'm doing other people's projects. And then gradually from there, left school, started writing projects for people, started making money out of it, came back for HND. And you have these lecturers who will call us, me particularly at the time, and say, hey, what are you working on, right? People like Dr. Mrs. here will call and say, let's see your project. My hospital management project was taken to the medical center at the time. It was very, I was very young, and people were looking at my project. The rector at the time was called to come and look at some of the projects I did. I think we had Baba Oloyo at the time. And then later Aluko again. All of these people were called to see the project I was doing because I was actually doing something, right? I was building things. I was coming to show them in the department. They were seeing it, and they're saying these are the kind of things that the school should have, we don't have, because it was very early, 2008, 10, 11, 12. Tech was not what it is now, right? So, and that is how all this journey started. We built the electronic exam system at the time. And I usually make joke when I'm talking to people outside that I had the opportunity to experiment with real life people based on some of the projects I built. Build the e-exam system with some of our lecturers as well, Mr. Ojuao, Dr. Mrs. here, and I did some work with the HOD as well at the time. And, you know, we're able to experiment with people coming to use the e-exam for the first time, and it was really slow. If you ask those people, they were writing the exam until middle of the night, and director asked us to give them, I think the bakery just opened, they gave them bread, and they were driving people home at 12 midnight after they wrote the exam. But those are the kind of opportunity that I had, right? We're able to see those kind of things and then build on top of it. How can we make it better? How can we make it faster? And funny enough, I think I was just sharing here that one of the questions I was asked when I was being interviewed for a job at Microsoft is, what is your biggest project? And my biggest project at the time was the e-exam software. And how is it big? Because a lot of students have used it. What was the problem? Because when we built it, there was nothing like that. What did it solve? Students can write their exam instantly, and they can leave, can save time. And then, what problem did they have? It was really slow. What did you do? We're able to improve on it. Here is where I learn about scalability, how to build system that is fast, system that is scalable, and stuff like that. So 2 things in this lesson. I think that's everything about my story. I wrote a story online about it. If you maybe type my name, I put a story online and some of the projects I've done. The moral of the story is that one, what you are doing now is very, very important to the future. Like, take time, study, practice, learn stuff, build projects, build a lot of projects. Look for very difficult things, try to solve them, come to the department, come and show the lecturers. And that's the second thing. They are very, very important now. It is when you leave school that you will realize that they are important, right? You can go and learn all kind of things. But they have experience, they've worked with a lot of people, they have trained a lot of people, they have connections that you don't have, right? You can build a project, go show them, and they say, oh, I have somebody, go talk to this person, and that can be the beginning of a very good career. So they are also very important. Build projects, which is what I'm trying to hammer on. Look for difficult problems, solve them. I think I met Israel here talking about how you can make money and how good it is. If you make yourself very skillful, all these things will look for you, right? And you will make a lot of money. That is what it is. But how do you get there? While you are here, while you don't have pressure from anyone, right? Immediately after service, there's pressure on you. There's pressure for you to get job. If you don't have a job, we start counting you as unemployed Nigerian. So there's pressure. So now you are a student, you don't have a lot of pressure than to pass exam, and it's very easy to pass exam. So build a lot of projects, look for difficult problems, solve it, go online, look for things that people have done, build them, show your lecturers, show your friends, form communities that will help you in the future. And as I said, when you do all of these things, you become a talent, and the opportunities will look for you. The opportunities are there. If you go online, you will see tons of jobs. Software engineering, data science, front-end, back-end, data engineering, cyber, they are there. It's just for you to build your skill and plug yourself in. So that will be everything. I don't know if anyone will have questions. I'll be around for a while, and we can discuss. Thank you.
Please give him a round of applause. Sorry. Please give him a round of applause once again. At least everybody should be able to relate to that story. Abi, as students, I'm sure you've heard him go from when he was a student here. So you would have learned one or two things, the nice things to do. One major thing is to do or build projects. Yes, we know you have the skills, but if you don't put it out there, there's no way anybody will know about what you're doing. That was why I was saying, raise up your hand if you're into. Some of you were not listening. You were too shy or something. In this field, please don't be shy. If you're too shy, please use the internet. Put your things online, social media, and so on. And you'll be able to from there, who knows? Just maybe you meet the right person. So please, questions. I'll take very few questions across board. Or I should come back to that again. All right. I'll be introducing Dr. Mrs. Odunto now. She has something for us as well.
Yeah, my greatest Nigerian computer science student. You can do better. My future CEO in the IT industry. Are you seated there? Where is the CEO seated? I want to see your hand. You know, I always tell you that it's your success that is most important to us. What to do is just to give you a participatory activity. It's just like a game stuff. To tell you that when you acquire all your IT skill, there are some things that you need to do. For your IT skill to actually be put into use, I will pick it from where Messi stopped. I call him Messi. He's an engineer today, but I'm used to calling him Messi. I hope I can still call you Messi. Yes, I call him my son. I call him Messi. Okay, good. So tomorrow, that's how all of you will become engineer. And you will be great by the special grace of God. Now, I will pick it from where he started from. When he said he was being interviewed at Microsoft, that the first thing he was asked is, what is your biggest project? Ask yourself that question. You are in HND 2. The project he was talking about, we did it when he was in HND 2. So ask yourself that question. What is your biggest project? If I assume I'm out now, you are in second semester, you are about stepping out. What project do you want to point out? And that is what led to this story. You are a developer, you are a software engineer. Your software you are developing must be something that can be used within your community, within your environment. So let's assume that the project he lauded, that he did, is something that could not be implemented within his environment. Will it make a way for him? Answer me now. It will not. Because your project as a software engineer must be something that is usable. That is one. Another thing is that as a software engineer, any project you are doing should be a project that the decision maker can say, yes, we want to use it. When that software was developed, the decision makers of the institution said, yes, we want to make use of this software for our computer-based exam. Not only the school, even the Ogun State government use it for teachers' promotion then. What are we telling you? Building up your mind. Build up your mind in projects that can be accepted by the community, that can be implemented, that decision makers can also do what? Can also support that this project is achievable. Actually, we have an activity that we'll have used, but what we are going to do because of time is to share this with all of you on your platform. We give you the soft copy for you to look at it. But what does it center on? It's trying to tell you that as software engineer, you must have a mindset that anything you are doing should be a project that is acceptable to the community, that is decision makers can sponsor, that has the technical background, that is you have the technical skill to be able to do what? To deliver. And also something that can have benefit on the user. Today, are you not happy with it? You are not happy with it? Okay, yeah, that's good. I love that. So you prefer to sit down in an hall for 3 hours writing your GNS 101. Is that what you are saying? Writing it under 1 hour and doing it for 3 hours. Which one do you prefer? 3 hours. Oh, okay, that's good. That's a feedback. It's noted. So what are we saying in this story that unfolds is that as a software engineer, as a future IT personnel, as a talent person, any talent you have, make sure you drive it towards what? Solving humanity problem, community problem, decision maker problem, and also something that the policy of the land can appreciate. So, on that note, I'm going to stop. I'm not going to the details of the workshop. By the time we meet in our smaller group, we have a tech community. Also, we have the DSN community. There we'll be able to go deeper into the discussion of all these stories that unfold. Thank you for listening.
So we are getting to the end of today's event. But before we do that, I understand that there are some questions. You know what? You have questions. I heard some people had questions there. Please let me call some of those guys out. Someone said they had a question there. Okay, so there's one of them here. I think it's the president, Abi. Oh yeah, please.
Ulofa. Sir, I have a question. As a computer science student, let me say outgoing computer science student, what are the things that is outside that you can enjoy or work towards to get some things outside, sir?
Okay, what are the things that you can enjoy after leaving school? Okay. Oh, okay. Live after school. Can you all hear me? Okay. I know you can hear me, but I need your audience. That's why I asked the question. So life after school can be very, very wide, but things that I think will help you is as you are leaving school, and that's those are the things that has been discussed severally. You already have a goal. What is that thing that I want to achieve? You are leaving school. I stand to be corrected, but I don't think money should be like the main thing on your mind. Money is very, very important, yes. But you should look at it for a long-term goal. So what can I do? What are the skills that I'm leaving school? What are the skills that I currently have? What are the skills that I need to acquire? So I am leaving school. Maybe I intend to work in, maybe as a programmer or as a digital marketer. What are the things that I need to have to be able to function effectively in that role? So I think that should be like the first thing that you should focus on. Okay, how am I going to acquire that skill? So while you are still waiting before you go for NYSC, maybe 2 months, 3 months, what are those things that I can start learning? Do I have money to go and learn it outside, or maybe I need to actually learn it online, pay for Udemy or Coursera, or use YouTube? So when you develop those skills, then when the opportunity starts coming, you can now start applying for the job opportunities, or even while you are doing the NYC also. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. So I have another question here. What does it take? I think it's directed to you now. What does it take to work as a freelance? How do you even get the job as a freelance?
Okay, I'll put it to you like, okay, if you are trying to be a freelance person, at times it can be very difficult. And just like I said in my presentation, to whatever it is you want to do, you have to be the best at what you do. Now, if you are trying to get that freelance project, it actually boils down to how best you put yourself out. There are freelance platforms you can actually try out, but at times, I wouldn't want to say like being in this region can be like a limiting factor. I wouldn't want to say that because there are people who still get the jobs right from here. So platforms like Upwork, where you can actually get freelance jobs. And then let me put it to you like, please let people know what you actually do. I actually got my first UI job from a friend who was actually on the sick bed, right? Now, and that's us trying to have like a conversation. So when you actually tell people what you do, then you tend to get referral jobs. So if you are trying to become a freelancer, platforms like Upwork, Fiverr actually helps you achieve those things. And then I will tell you to you, please try to, have a very good profile on LinkedIn, because recruiters are there trying to, add-ons for people. So I think that actually answers the question. Thank you.
Thank you. There's another question for you again. Must I start as a graphics designer in order to become a UI UX designer or a product designer?
Okay. This question actually causes like a very big conversations on Twitter sometimes. And I would just say, not being a graphic designer doesn't mean you can't be a product designer, okay? But one thing I'll just try to tell you is, if you are trying to learn either the product design or the UI UX, try to learn the fundamentals and the basics of designs. And what do I mean by the fundamentals? I'm talking about the hierarchy, the contrast, and all of those things. So you not being a graphic designer doesn't mean you cannot be a product designer. Just try to learn the fundamentals and the basics that are required for you to, learn that particular product design skill you want to do. Thank you.
Another one to be to Mr. Adeboye, sir. So we have a question here. What does it take to work remotely, and how easy is it to get such jobs?
I think I've been, that's the same thing I've been saying. Just build the skills. Find what you want to do. There are a lot of jobs that you can do remotely. UI, UX, back-end, so all kinds of jobs you can do remotely. Just identify the one you want to do, build skills, go online, look for remote jobs, apply, and that's all.
One more. As a computer science IT student, is there any organization or company we can work and get paid for our IT?
IT skills. If you have, so that's the problem. You must have skill. You must have skill. So any organization, you can find organization that will pay you, right, during your IT. Now, it depends on what you are bringing to the company. So if the company employ you as an office assistant, that you are helping to carry folder here and there, it's also a job. They will pay you some certain amount of money. If the company employ you to be an intern and you are working on their software project, that's a different kind of payment. So the more money you want, the more skill you should build. There are actually people that companies are looking to. There's a story of some guys that were employed in my office, that whilst all of us are going to interview, the company actually went to them and said, come and work with us. And they're actually Nigerians. So the more skill you have, the more valuable you are, and the more valuable you are, the more money you make. It's simple.
Thank you very much. Any other question? This question is directed at Mr. Israel, but it took a walkout. Any question? Come forward. Also, we are not just here. We have some goodies, not food now. There are some benefits and gifts that will be shared at the end of the program. So stay tuned.
Yeah, thank you. My question goes thus. As a freelancer, if you just start a freelancing job, for you to get connected, there is a way whereby they said your profile and the likes. Which of the ways is the best?
Okay. I wouldn't say there is any best way to it, right? Clients could come from anywhere. And like I said, my first job was talking to a friend on a sick bed who actually connected me to a client back then. But now, saying like, where is the best platform? So people will tell you Upwork is not working for them. But some will tell you they're actually making tons of dollars on the platform. Some will still tell you Fiverr is not working for them, but they will still get jobs from there. Do you get? But you really need to understand yourself and strategize on how best you want to get a job. Like the profile thing, when you have a very good profile on LinkedIn, like I said, you get recruiters reaching out to you for interviews and then trying to get you on jobs. So it depends on whatever strategy you want to do. And another thing I would say to the freelancing thing is, it actually goes beyond that. At times, you could take it a point of job for yourself to, pitch to, recruiters, companies, founders, right there on LinkedIn. And what do I mean by pitching? You go to them, you tell them, okay, good afternoon, this is what I do, and I would really love to have a conversation with you as per this, as per that. So those things is just you trying to sell yourself. All right.
I'll be taking the last question for Mr. Israel.
Okay, so first off, you asked the question then that if you are to employ us, that what I will bring to the table. So what I'll bring to the table is my skill, of course. I'm a JavaScript full stack developer and also a UI UX with 4 years of experience. Then my question is, two questions. The first one is, I noticed, and it has, like I observed, our school platform, anytime result is released, there are always tractions. And of course, from past experience, I know this has to do with something cloud, but I don't know. I was to explain to someone, but I don't know how best to explain, but I just know it's cloud problem for the results, like our school platform hanging and not going anytime results are out. Then secondly, I'm working on an HR management platform. It's like I will not say pocket project, it's something I intend to use as a startup. And will I say currently, of course, no much tractions, users are not plenty, but I know it will get to a point where users will flood the platform, and how best to, will I say, fit in cloud services to it is what I also don't understand. So I don't know if I can get an explanation on that, so thank you.
All right, thank you for the question. So for the school platform, what happens is that when exam results is released, so on a normal day, let's say you have maybe 1,000 students in school. Maybe out of the 1,000 students that you have in school, maybe 500 will probably go to the site to check their result on a normal day. But after you are done writing the exam, and then school now release the result. So there is always like a rush. Just like when Jumia is doing Black Friday, there is more than normal traffic on the website. So the platform where the website is being hosted, maybe the subscription plan that the school is using, maybe it's not really that much. Now, for example, look at websites like Jam Site. They will tell you that visit that website in the middle of the night. Why do you think they ask you to visit in the middle of the night? It's not because of anything. It's because there will be less people on the website at that time, and then when you visit in the middle of the night, to be able to do whatever it is that you want to do quickly. Rather than when you do it in the afternoon, there are lots of people that are accessing that website at the same time. Do you understand? So what that kind of situation, what can solve the problem is migration to a cloud service provider. Now what happens with cloud service is that there are two services. We call one elastic load balancing, and then there is auto scaling. So that auto scaling automatically scales your platform to accommodate traffic when that traffic is coming in. It's just like saying that, okay, let me use the example. I have a party. Maybe I have an Owambe party, and then I'm expecting 50 people to come to my party. Now, I have gone to rent chairs and tables that people are going to use 50. At the end of the day, I was expecting 50 people. Only 25 people showed up. I cannot carry the chair and table and return it back to the rental company and say, see, I was expecting 50 people. It's only 20 that came. Give me back my money. It does not work that way. That is on-premise. But if you are using the cloud platform, so let's say maybe a hall like this, and then it can accommodate even way more than 50 people. But they won't charge you until those people arrive. So when they sit down on the chair, it starts reading. If your event is 2 hours, maybe the average time that an individual person might use to sit down might just be maybe 1 hour, 30 minutes. If somebody stands up to go and receive call, they won't charge you. If the person comes back, it starts reading again. Do you understand? So that's like how the cloud platform works. Or picture and scenario. You have an hotel and you have an event. So you've rented hotels where people are going to stay. Now you're now saying that I am expecting 50 people, but I want 10 people each in a room. That is what elastic load balancing does. So elastic load balancing manages the traffic overwhelmed by too much traffic. As that traffic is coming in, 10 people go to room A, another 10 people go to room B, another 10 people go to room C. If 3 people leave room A, it will take the traffic from another 3 to add to room A. So that way, it distributes that traffic. So that's what cloud computing does. So for the application that you are building, you can, in fact, cloud is like the best approach because you don't have to spend money on hosting it excessively. It is pay as you go pricing. The number of space that you're using in the cloud, that's what they get to charge you for. If you are using 50 gig, you pay for that 50 gig. If tomorrow there is a need to increase to 52 gig, you increase to 52 gig, you pay for that 52 gig. But if you are using on-prem, let's say you buy hard disk of 1 terabyte, you continue paying for security, maintenance, everything for that 1 terabyte space that you have purchased. Whether you like it or not, Cisco guys will come for maintenance. They will come and maintain the hardware. Electricity people, they will collect money. Your server room has to be cold 24/7. They won't imagine during COVID. Let's say an organization has gone to buy infrastructures pre-COVID. Now, people that were supposed to go out for marketing to bring in sales so that those infrastructures will be occupied, they were unable to go out. Now, infrastructure is there. You have to be paying for security. Electricity bill is there. Maintenance is there. Ikeja Electric, they will not say, we know that business is not moving. Don't worry, let us reduce the price. Don't pay the amount that you're supposed to pay 20%. Do you understand? So that's what cloud computing does. So all those operational costs has been eliminated. For someone like you that is starting out a startup, that's like the best approach. Why do you think we have so many fintech companies all over the place? That's the reason. Before, you can't set up a bank without those infrastructures. Now, I don't have to, so if I have like 300 million or maybe 50 million, instead of spending money to buy infrastructures like server, all those things, data center, I don't have to spend money. I can use the cloud. As my customers are increasing, I am also expanding within the cloud environment. So that's it's the best approach for a startup. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So we'll be coming to an end. As I've said, your coming here is not in vain. There are little benefits that are going to be shared. So to share that and also end today's session, I'll be inviting Fortunatus. Am I correct? Did I pronounce?
All right. Well done, guys. I can say thank you very much for staying around. For those of you that are still here, thank you very much for staying around. Now, there are some benefits that actually comes with this workshop, but we can't just throw it to the open like that. We have to be dynamic and systematic about it. We will roll out Google Forms subsequently. If you are interested in any particular field, fill in your interest. We will capture your interest and get back to you on how you can actually proceed from the next thing. We have opportunities on cloud computing. We have opportunity on AI ML. We have opportunity on digital marketing for now. I think subsequently we might have other opportunities coming in. But as they are coming in, we will roll out the form for you guys to fill your interest area. And when you fill, we tell you the next thing to do. So I think at this point, I believe that you've actually learned a lot at this point. And I want you to appreciate all our guests who has made it out of their busy schedule to come down from Lagos, to come and share their knowledge with us. Please, let's appreciate them and celebrate them. Let's say a very big thank you to them. Mr. Kuti, I really appreciate your coming. Very, very. It's really an honor to have you here. Mr. Sir for coming. And to our own person, Mr. Messi, it's an honor to me. We are very, very grateful. It's a pleasure meeting you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. So